Sorry, the guys. Fuck, man. I thought the stream was going. I didn't realize it cut. I thought the stream was still going. When I got out, I don't know how it got clicked, but I don't know how it got clicked, but disconnect got clicked. It looked like. I don't know, man. How did that happen? I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I'm back. YouTube? Oh, YouTube's gonna be a new YouTube, isn't it? Fuck. Whatever, I guess. I don't know how that happened. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. No, luckily nothing happened, right? Like I was taking a break anyway. I played one of those videos, but you guys missed it. Those AI game Doom videos. I played one of those. Well, at least I can play the same one again later. I played one of those. I thought the stream was on. Then when I came back, I saw the F thing. I thought maybe I wasn't sure it really was down at that point. And then I looked, and then I saw that it really was cut. I was like, fuck. I don't know how it happened. I know it happened. I smoked weed before I went, right? I smoked the weed. I wasn't sure if I did that in the fakes in the offline stream. I didn't know it was offline. I did it before, right? Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so where were we? We got in trouble. We got in trouble. Why? Because we were told not to work the case, and we get caught working the case, right? Finding that evidence and stuff. And so, of course, Inami, this fucking snake man, hears about it, and he ain't happy. So, we could talk back. We talked back last time. We're not gonna this time. Just, I mean, it is our bad, kinda. Why? Because, I mean, the kid is kidnapped, yada yada. We shouldn't be fucking up. And we find out, we learn about the mother again, right? And that she saved her son. Then Anzai goes on this whole like victim complex thing, right? Where she's all victim complex. I don't know. That's fair. Her life is unfortunate. You know, her life is unfortunate. So I don't know if it's fair to say victim complex, but she tells us about like everybody she knows died. The only person she had was her sister or something. We learned that too. She had a kid, she had a husband, they died in some kind of accident. This is the neighbor. This is the neighbor. The neighbor to the missing kid. That we've been, you know, we think is the one suspect because she was in the gardening circle, and we think she sent the letters. Ask about her wounds on her head. Just kind of skip all this. She does somehow her wounds healed already. That we saw the other day when we found her. Okay, this is it, right? Yes, this is it. Okay, we're no more skipping. We're to the story now. We made it, guys. We made it. No more skipping. Okay. So let me check the guide to figure out what we're supposed to do here. So we're on 34. We want to get to... Which one is that? Hold on. We want to get to 43. Okay. So... 43, okay. Wait, it depends. If it has the proceed mark, it goes to 43. If not, it goes to 38. Okay, 39. Okay. So we go... Okay, well, let me read through this for you. So, if you were a normal mother and your kid got kidnapped, would you worry about the kid? Would you search for who did it? That's what we're gonna pick. You would search for who did it. You'd search for who did it. You think a normal mother would do that? It's like how we doubt it in our own head. Like, oh, are you sure about that? Are you dumb? Are we dumb? Are you, like, we're talking to ourselves, right? Are we dumb? Am I dumb? Am I actually dumb? Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I just didn't know I was dumb. But you can already ask them, who are you? Ask them. It was a lady. Or it was a lady. Are the audio levels good, guys? Let me know. Is she good to be that calm in that kind of situation? And be able to ask something like that? Also, I'm kind of slanted, right? I'm like falling over. All speaking of being called a Nazi, tuned into Aiko Rules, who was a socialist. Yeah, she's a commie, yeah, definitely. And someone in chat was like, you know you have Nazis in your chat? Was joking about hanging a Nazi flag and said my neighbors probably wouldn't like that. It was joking. Yeah, of course you're joking. Of course you're joking. Those people are dumb, bro. Don't worry about them. The thing is, commies and... Here's the thing about commies. Commies and Nazis are the same thing. They're just cousins of the same fucking totalitarian bullshit. I know they think they're not, and they love to, like, worship themselves for being good guys, but they're the same thing. They're the Nazis. They're the ones. I know that they always point, right? They're like, those guys are the Nazis. They're pretty much the same. They're the same breed. They're cousins. Communists and fascists are cousins. Communists and Nazis are also cousins. All of those things come out of socialist thought. All of them do. Right? Like, fascism does. Communism does. Hitler based it on those kind of same... it was his answer, those same ideas. Well, not his answer. The other... Whatever, one guy wrote it. I forget his name. He wrote a book called National Socialism, right? And he was like part of the Nazi party. I forget the guy. But it was Hitler's answer to that kind of thought. My grandmother escaped Poland after Germany invaded on my dad's side. For me, here's the thing. So regular people, right, that play stupid politics games, they divide the world like right and left, or like communist. Mainly, when they mean right and left, they mean economic, and they actually believe communism is real, right, which is their big mistake. So to them, the left side is communism, the right side is free market or something, right? I don't really know what they're really thinking there, but but that's their axis, right? Is that but the real axis, the people are actually along, that I think is worth like fighting for or holding on to or yada yada, is totalitarian versus individualist. Like somebody that believes in like individual power, individual strength, the most complicated resolution is that of the individual, right? Versus somebody that thinks about the greater good, totalitarian control. They have a right to tell people how to live. They think other people are dumb. That's the real divide, and that's why, in reality, I'm on the other side from communists and Nazis, because Nazis are totalitarians, communists are totalitarians. They all are, right? Communism cannot be established without totalitarian rule. But they think, like, since it's right? This is how communists think. They think since what they want is right, it's fine to use totalitarian rule to do it. They call it the dictatorship of the proletariat. Okay? They spelled it out in their theory. They know what they're doing. They know they're doing evil to accomplish it. But they think, right, they know they're taking away other people's agency. And they're fine with that because they think other people are stupid and aren't critically conscious, aren't aware enough to make their own decisions. They think everybody else is basically like cattle that are too stupid to decide things for themselves, so they need a centrally planned government. That's what they think. Ima took political compass test, got slightly left and slightly libertarian. I don't worry about any of that stuff, bro. I think I'm getting. I think I mean, I think you can figure out what somebody stands for better than those tests, right? Like what's important to them. Really worry about that stuff. I don't think politics are real, bro. I think politics are just there to make you fight over something that's like not really, well, not totally true, but to fight over something that's not really important. But communists, not only is it a fake thing, they also, of course, are basically replacing with their religion, like we were talking about earlier. So it's also their religious practice too. Like, why are communists always talking about communist nonsense? Because it's also their religious practice, right? Politics are their religious practice. That's something, I don't know if a lot of people have figured that out yet, but communists, their religious practice is politics. That's them practicing their religion. Like a missionary, going like on, you know, going around preaching their religion. That's what the communist equivalent is. They do go around doing the dialectic to make people closer to them, their worldview, to you know, to make the world into their image. Yeah. She said we should be able to own tanks. Sure, that'd be cool. Voted Trump as more as anti-Kamal. I don't vote. Would I vote? Yeah, maybe. I don't vote though. I think it would. Oops, fuck. I think it would bias me. My thought, and I think trying to figure stuff out is more important than voting. Like my vote, I think is less important than me trying to figure out what's going on the best of my ability and like tell people what I think. Like I'm like a woman, I guess. I think that I'm more powerful without the ability to vote, just like women used to think. I think that I'm more powerful without voting. Why would she be so calm in a situation like that? That doesn't make sense, right? Is it because, like Anzai said, she doesn't love her child anymore? Okay, hold on. That's too far, isn't it? The second one here, is this the one? Okay, it says if it has conclusion, that is the one. This is the one you pick. Really? Is that too much? What in the world is going on if she's that calm when her child's gone missing? I thought it was a happy household, right? But maybe there was an Oni hiding in there. I live in Washington, so a waste of effort. But on election night, and hope to see people crying that Trump won. Not happy with Trump at the moment. Very anti-Israel. Well, okay, for me, my issue with all those religions is that they want to be they're basically the right one. I don't know what I am about Israel, but I would like us to stop sending so much money to them. I'm what do you call it? Like maybe I'm not quite isolationist, but like I think America should sell off. You know, my plan is we get rid of the Fed, right, and we sell off. We get rid of fake money. That's not gonna happen, but we get rid of fake money. We switch to sound money. We appeal. What is it called? Currency tender laws. We repeal tender laws so people can use anything they want for money. We outlaw fractional banking and make it so they actually have to have the money if they want to loan the money, right? They can't just loan imaginary money. I would like us to, and like the government to sell off a lot of its stuff and then pay off the debt. Because here's the thing: what happens when a person is in debt in real life, right? They like file they file bankruptcy, and then the people start taking things though, right? Like they start selling stuff to pay off their debt. Why isn't our government doing it? Why are they telling us to pay them when it's their mistakes making us have this debt? Stop telling us to do it. Sell the house. You know what I mean? Sell your nice car, bro. Sell your nice car, guys. Government, sell your stuff. Stop asking us for the money. Sell your stuff. Really in debt? Yeah, but they could pay it off by selling some of their stuff. The government owns enough stuff to pay off most of the debt. But they, you know, obviously they won't. But they do. But they do. The government owns a shit ton of stuff. The government owns a shit ton of stuff. The government can make the money. And if they don't pay it off right away, they can work towards it. Because our debt should not be on us. That's the government's mistake. That's not our mistakes. Right? The goal of the government should be to remove the bindings and weight from regular people as much as possible to allow them as much freedom as possible, right? That's the whole fucking point of the government. Instead, they put it off on us on purpose. They put it off on us so the banks and other entities at the higher levels can operate without burden. They put the burden on us. That's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. And it doesn't, I don't know why people agree to it, man. I don't know why people don't do something about it. Fucked up. We just take over the world if we wanted to. Well, yeah, I mean, we'd have to want to, and we'd have to have like the will for that. I don't think. I don't think there'll ever be the will for that, though, because a lot of things that lead to our innovation and stuff that make us strong, also probably make it so we probably wouldn't want to do that. You know, the type of where America excels. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully. It kind of pushes us away from actually doing that. But is it possible where there's a world where we could do it? Yeah, I guess, right? What is even the worth of paper currency? Well, it's not. The point of paper currency right now is to offload the debt of the banks onto you, Shinny. That's the purpose now, because before, banks had to worry about like running out of money and insolvency, bank runs, and what's the other one? Currency drain, right? Where because okay, so a bank works like this. Let's say, Shinny, you're a government, okay, and you're coming to me, and you want $1 billion, okay, and I have $0, by the way. Okay, I understand this. First thing to understand is I have $0, but I'm a bank, okay. You come in, and I can I have $1 million? And I go, come on right through, sir. And I push away all the little guys, all the guys for like $20, $2,000 loans, $20,000, push them all out of the way. Come on, sir, because I want the biggest possible one on my books. Why? Because here we go. We go, okay, come in, sir. You want $1 million? Okay. And I write down on my computer, on my piece of paper into my computer, $1 million. And I put it in 2 places, right? Well, I put it in 3 places, really. I put it in asset, because now that's an asset my bank owns. What do I own? Interest you're going to pay me, okay? That's my asset. Yes, you may be saying, didn't I just make that up out of nowhere? Yeah, I did. So what? And then also $1 million on the other part under liability, on the liability part, because theoretically I owe that, theoretically, right? Theoretically I owe that. So now you have $1 million in my bank. You got to, if you use my bank card, right? You have $1 million. So the only time the banks actually lose money is when you actually pull it out, right? Otherwise, that's just an imaginary number. Your balance isn't that money's not real, okay? When you look at your bank account and you see numbers there, that's not real money. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. We're playing this game where we just pretend. We just pretend it exists. And the Fed is set up to allow us to do this. They called it making money more liquid, or not more liquid, more stretchy, more fluid. It was something like that. Elastic. They said we're elastic. Yeah, they're just cheating now. So that's how it works. And then what happens is they have systems in place, right, to make it sure that if you can't pay off the $1 million, well, they can go to Congress, right, and they can ask, and they also have insurance. They also have the federal insurance that they can tap into to pay it off too. They have these other pots of money, and also they can also do tricks like where they'll lower how much you have to pay and like extend the loan, right? There's all kinds of tricks and things they'll do like that because they want the loan on the books, because to them, remember, what is it really? An asset. an asset. You'd think like banks wanted you to pay them back. Well, they don't, because they don't really lend you any money. They don't really lend you any money. So they don't actually want you to pay them back. Instead, they want you to owe them forever. And when you really understand this, you can understand why America's fucked up and how it actually works. It actually works by making regular people in debt into the system, so they're held down and they never actually have real assets pretty much, right? Like it's so hard to build up anything. And then in practice, because the big guys get their loans taken care of and they're too big to fail, remember, too big to fail. They get bought out, they get recovered, they get backed up by the government. And because of that, that means over time, just like a casino, how casino wins over time by playing the odds, the bigger companies win over time because they built the system to protect them. And so they buy up the littler banks. And people keep calling this capitalism. Like, the communists, they will call what I'm talking about an effect of capitalism, right? I'm sure you've heard people talk about that kind of thing. But they're just wrong. They're just misunderstanding what's happening. It's not that money will always turn into corruption. It's that if you set up the system and rig it in such a way that having more money is an inherent advantage in getting more money, right? The more capital you have, the more capital you can get. Building the system that way makes it so they can crush the little guys, right? That's what we built. That's what we built. It's not capitalism. We don't live under capitalism, not while the Fed exists. And so why would dollars, okay? So what's the connection to dollars? Well, they just make up the dollars like that. And the government, the Fed, can now just send fake money to people. They just send a token and they say it exists. Every time our government is paying off, paying these other countries and things, that's made up money too. Every bit of money that they make up like that makes our money worth less. And it's all to support these banks. It's also they can't fail and we can. We can fail, we can go bankrupt, we can lose our house, we can lose everything. They can't. And it's built that way on purpose. Fucked up. Because to them that seems right. That seems right. They think they deserve that. But and I really think the whole reason public school is to keep people too stupid to notice that's going on. Because when public school is rolled out, like becomes a wide scale usage, like a couple of years after the Fed is passed. Why is that? Huh? That's weird. Obviously, it's been pushed for a while, but so was the Fed, right? Ideas like the Fed are being pushed for a while too. It's just that's when became a real thing. Crony capitalism. Sure, you can call it crony capitalism, sure. The real problem is the debt system, though. The real problem is, like everybody's right is the thing. Like the Nazis, the Nazi types, the neo-Nazi types, whatever you want to call them, and the Groyper types, they'll say, usury, right? They'll say usury. They're actually right? If you understand the real problem, everybody is kind of right. Usury, yeah, it is. It's the debt system. But it's not just Jewish people doing it. It's this bank set. In fact, most of the ones that have power now are American families. Well, not most, but some of them, like Rockefellers. J.P. Morgan, I know the Groypers look for the Jewish connection, but it's the banker connection is the connection. Everybody's kind of right. It is usury. And then communists are kind of right when they're saying it's big money. Money is from their perspective. The big companies are always able to just buy up the little ones. And not only they buy up the little ones, they pass regulations to make the little ones need more money to compete and to crush them out of the market. But yeah, it starts at the Fed, and then you add in regulation, and that's what you're calling crony capitalism, right? Agreed. But the bigger problem is the Fed itself, is the banking system itself. That the fact that it's designed so banks can't fail, but we can, and they pitch that to us as good for like the greater, like that's good because the banks need to succeed because there are the institutions we use. But the thing is, that doesn't make any sense, though. We need to succeed because we're us, Like they're saying you can get fucked, right? If you think about that, you can get fucked because the bank needs to survive. And it's like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I need to survive. I'm an actual person. The bank's a concept. A concept doesn't need to live more than I do, right? People need to stop taking, like companies should not be considered people, and banks should not be put over human lives. Ask me. Blaming the Jews is easier, but yeah. I mean, I get why they do it, but it's just not the. But the Jewish people are a player. And I've been watching a bunch of those videos about Jews expelled from this place or that place. They are always a player in economics, and that's why they get expelled, and that's why they are a player in the game. Um, they are a player. They're a player, but they're not the only player. And in fact, the dominating players are families, are American families, American crime families mostly. Um, but there are Jewish players too, of course there are, and they've been players because here's the thing: the game again is actual economics. If you're engaging in actual economics, like not fake communist economics, not fake Keynesian nonsense that's just there to trick you. If you're really playing the game, like you're really understanding um, what's going on, and like you're dealing with gold, right? You're dealing with real assets that could change the world. Then you're playing the game, and so that's why they always get kicked out. And that's also why they are a player, and that they do get, if they get targeted, you're going to find evidence that they're not a collective cabal, but like that there are Jewish factions playing the game, of course, right? Just like there are American factions playing the game. Um, Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan, these kinds of people. Um, George Soros, right? He's a Jewish person, I think, though, right? Is Soros Jewish? But whatever. The point is, I think he's Jewish, right? I don't know. Whatever he is, it doesn't matter. The point is the Jewish thing is just because their inclinations made them lean towards always being involved with actual economics. So that made them always a problem for people trying to control their society in central planning and things like this. And if they did central planning too, then they would combat each other, right? From my research so far, that's the conclusion I've come to. That makes sense. Um, Not that. What's up? What's up? Retro. What's up, man? Welcome. Um. Also, I don't like Israel, but largely as we shouldn't be funding their defense, as you said. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think we should be. I don't think we should be. I mean, I don't see why they have to stay there. I don't know. Like, why can't we offer like to take them in and be like, okay, now we're done, right? Like say, okay, you guys can have some state or something that you guys can go live with the Somalis in Minnesota, okay? You can go live with the Somalis in Minnesota, all right? And then be done, right? Like let whoever takes our offer on that can live with the Somalis in Minnesota and start their own Jewish child care, right? Um, but that's it. Um, I joke we should give them. I don't think it'd be a crazy move, okay? To just like offer them asylum, right? Say like, okay, any Jewish people from Israel that want asylum um, in America, you can have it. But otherwise, we pull out a lot of our aid because it's just dumb. I don't know. Like, what is the point of fighting that fucking war forever? In that, I know religion, but I know it's a holy place. I guess. But what? Why do they have to hold it? Why does it really matter? Um, it's gonna be. They're gonna be there until, like the Islamic nations are gonna go after them forever. I don't know. Seems like just a bad place to be. Just leave if I was you. Um, Also would remove the largest Dem states. Give California, sure. I wouldn't mind letting California become a free communist state, right? Just so they can see what will really happen if they let their ideas happen. Just for that experiment, I would let them have California. Um, just to see what would really happen if we really try a communist state. I would let it happen too. I would let it happen too. Um, I think try a communist state. Let them see what happens. Let them have what they want. New York, bro, is gonna be in trouble because of the fucking housing thing. So that's gonna be one thing that should show people. But who knows? You know what they're gonna think? They're gonna think the same thing they always think. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he didn't do it right. He could have done it right. He didn't." All right, so let's get back into the story now. Um, we head towards Saito residence. Head towards the Saito residence. Domyoji said we can talk to her. Got it so we could talk to her. Apparently, most of the cops aren't there right now. We parted ways with him. He said he's going to try to finish making arrangements for the warrant. Something like that. We head towards there at our appointed time. And there he is. He's always on time. Huh. He's punctual. Also appeal the 19th. Uh-huh. Is 19th the right to vote one? Is that the woman's right to vote one? I was just talking about earlier, women were more powerful without the right to vote, and they knew it. The right to vote is the right to be controlled by political powers, right? Like, it just makes us all fighting stupid politics games against each other. It made men and women fight against each other instead of being partners and like yin and yang. So I don't know. I don't. Should women not vote? Do women really want to vote? Like, if I had the if I could make the deal women can make, which is like no debt, right? No voting, no debt, like how it used to be for them. I would take that deal. You know, like the benefits they got before were better than voting. Voting's not a very good benefit, you know. And the thing is, voting is fake. Politics are fake. Your biggest bet is your dollar, in my opinion. Your biggest, the true democracy, actually, and this is the trick. True democracy is the market. It's free market. It's because what else has more say in what gets produced and how it gets distributed than your dollar. Nothing does. Nothing does. The biggest voice you have is your dollar. And they've even ruled such with the stupid fucking sewer PACs, right? So like the fact that we have these two concepts and people don't get it kind of blows your mind if you realize it. But people think money involved is the problem. No, it's the people. Money's not the problem. It's the people. That's the trick. That's the oldest trick they've done. That's the Satan trick. That's what Satan's done. Satan, you know, evil is done. I tricked people I didn't exist. I tricked people that what's good is bad. That if money in politics is bad. No, the politicians are the bad ones. It's the politics that are bad. If you take out money from politics, what are you left with? Corruption. just corruption by how people feel instead of money. You end up with corruption. Money is the most fair way to do it in reality. So minimalist government, as small as possible. And then why would women need to vote? They'd be better off not voting. Government should not be so powerful that voting is such a big deal. That people think it's like this great benefit. It's not even a great benefit. Who fucking cares? Especially women. Like, women can't. You think women can't talk dudes into doing things? What? Huh? Are you kidding me? Who can talk dudes into doing things better than women? No one. That's why women, when they weren't being controlled by, controlled, there were all the propaganda, the schooling, everything wasn't aimed to make them political tools. It was better for them because they weren't targets. It wasn't. Now, before, men would protect women by the way the setup was, right? You'd protect your woman, you protect any woman you knew, pretty much, right? And when when they weren't involved in politics, like voting specifically, they were protected from the forces of politics, from the wind of aggression and politics and shit. Now instead, we put women out alone, right, to just deal with it, and it's actually fucked up if you think about it. Men have, like, yeah, everybody blames women for how they are because they're like broken now, but men neglected their duty and let them get exposed to the wilderness, to all the fucking vipers of politicians. We fucked up there. We fucked up there. We shouldn't have let women be exposed to that. People blame women for like the current culture war stuff. And I get it, but it's not women's fault. It's all of our fault. We all let it happen. My argument would be women don't have to be drafted. Not only not drafted, they didn't have debt either, bro. They couldn't get debt. They couldn't be held responsible for debt. The only that their father or their husband would. That was way better. That was way better. It was way better. They couldn't accrue debt. They never had to deal with that. Like my mother, after she divorced my dad, had like all their debt that she had to pay off. That wouldn't have happened if that was how it worked. If it was like how it used to be. My mother, she had to like with just by herself. She had to pay that bunch of that off. That ain't right. Think we're a democracy, we're a republic. Yeah, that's true too. But that's because they're communists. Democracy means communism. That's something you'll pick up on. They mean communism when they say democracy. Because they mean like stakeholder communism where, not, oh, sorry, democracy, where it's like each group gets a say, like according to the intersectionality, matrix. It's like, okay, a black woman gets to say something, a black guy gets to say something, a gay black guy gets to say something, a trans black guy gets to say something, a white guy, oh, we have enough of those. We have enough of those. Right? That's what stakeholder democracy means, which means socialism. It means some kind of socialism, some kind of communism, based around neo-Marxist nonsense. Also, women working was a mistake. Shinny, you are correct. The things the conclusions you arrived here are correct. Yes, because couple of things. One, ask a woman if she wants to work. That'll be honest with you. What does she say? Nobody wants to work. I mean, men work because they feel like it's our duty to take care of our family, right? And people we know and stuff. Women don't have to work. They can take care of their family different ways that are in some ways not, I mean, in some ways men can't do very easily. They're very adept at it, at protecting a family, at taking care of a family. Well, not protecting, sorry, taking care of a family, taking care of a home. They're very adept at those things. So it makes total sense. Makes total sense. I don't know. And be like, okay, well, what about women don't want to have a family? Yeah, it's fine. Who cares? But nonetheless, in reality, every one of us, all of our ancestors had a family or tried. That's why we exist. So clearly, it's something worth doing. Like the argument that people don't need families is so bizarre because it negates your very existence to think that, right? It's like, oh, we don't really need to have families. Okay, well, how do you exist? Oh. Like the other possibilities were like people pumped out by the state and like cloning vats or like something, but deranged like that. That's the other option besides family. That shit, I know. There's some kind of like breeding programs or something, right? Family seems like a pretty good one. Let's go back to that one. I'm also not saying that women shouldn't be able to have jobs, but well, yeah, just have it like they have to actually meet the requirements, right? Make it so women can work if they want to, but they just have to actually do it, right? That's a better. It's not like women couldn't work back then. Women could work where they could work, and that's how it should be. It makes total sense, right? Doubling the workers isn't good. No, you're correct. In fact, it's probably intentional. Rockefellers pushed female liberation. Why? To get the mother out of the home. For what reason, bro? To get the kid into the state programming and be a nice consumer idiot forever. Because before public school, people didn't buy as much stupid shit, bro. Before public school, people didn't buy shit they didn't need. Now they buy extra shit, like you were saying earlier, the phone thing. Now, I'm not making fun of you, but just pointing out that now, like, people will buy a new phone over fixing it, or they'll buy a new TV when it breaks. They'll buy like another huge TV. They'll keep buying stuff they don't really need. That's people weren't like that before public school, bro. People weren't like that before public school. It was intentional. Get the mom working. Now, get them into public school. Because they already had the public school system, right? But they didn't have enough kids in their clutches. Too many of them were still, raised by their mother too much. They needed them to be state drones. That's what they needed. They needed us to all be state drones clustered in government facilities, most of our, young age, cloistered together, forced to stay juvenile intentionally. That's what we're dealing with, man. I almost got in a fight, smashed my phone into my counter when I got home. Damn. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Shinny, on that. Those observations are correct. Okay. I'm taking the place of the guy that was on duty, so he'll be able to talk to her now. We don't have to sneak around or anything. He says proudly. But is it okay for us to just talk to her? And do you think she'll be honest about what Anzai said? If that's true. What did Anzai say? That she didn't love her kid anymore? And Kagure's right to worry about that. Well, she won't answer honestly. But there should be a reaction. Oh, well, you're trying to figure it out by poking her to get a reaction? Quite brave. Quite bold. I got screamed at by a woman for being a man. Story of my life. Then texted her boyfriend she's being a cunt, and he got in my face and was like, "We call her cunt again? Yeah, it's stupid. Stupid. Story of my life." People don't realize men in the current world do have it worse, right? Like way worse. Way worse. Way worse. Way worse. Especially if you're just a regular white guy. You have no defense. All people will just be mean to you all the time. And if you complain about it, they'll be like, well, blah, 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 blah. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up world. It's a fucked up world right now. I was saying before, but I felt like for a year, because of my views and stuff, I felt like my country in mass hates me for a while now. For decades almost. Just a bitch. Yeah, that's a funny joke that gets people in a lot of trouble, right? Like, what was it? Sargoon got in a lot of trouble for that one. So did somebody else. You know me, I don't care. I think people should say any jokes on Earth. I don't care about jokes. I mean, obviously, like there's a time and a place, but like there can be a time and a place. Like it doesn't mean like you say stuff in front of kids or something, but whatever. We keep wasting time here. The danger to Yusuke gets worse. Okay, you guys see that? There you go. Okay, understood. I'll follow your discretion, Chief. Okay. Nice. He guides us inside. He guides us inside. He's doing like a respectful pose. He takes a respectful pose. Oh, here she is. Are you guys ready? We're gonna finally solve this Oni case the second time. What's going on here? What's the science side? We've done the supernatural side. We saw the Oni demon. What is the science side? What is her reason for being like this? Like why is she not more sad about her son? That's what we need to find out. She looks kind and calm, just like when we first met. I was straight and to the point. Yukari? Miss Yukari? Are you happy Yusuke's not coming home? Damn, that's she stiffens. She hardens. Stiffens better. Are you sure you love Yusuke? I kept going. I waited. And she stared at me. Glared. I guess because it was so sudden, she didn't have time to prepare herself. It seems like, judging by how she's behaving, what I said was true. What are you saying? That's so rude! Her voice is shaking, but she's pale. Yeah, I was strict on him, sure, but I wasn't trying to hurt him. And where do you get the nerve? Where do you even get the idea to say this? On what basis do you say this? Wait. I didn't say anything about hurting you, Skay. Her words get caught in her throat. What's up, Fluffy? Welcome. I'm almost 40-year-old virgin. Also, I'm almost 40-year-old virgin, so like, don't scream at me about being raped. Sure, bro. Man, society really is fucked up, huh? I mean, like, I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. It's just fucked up that I'm not saying I mean, how old you really are, but I mean, like, it is fucked up that more people aren't finding other people that, like, I don't know. It's fucked up there's not more, like, marriages, you know, like people finding someone. The numbers are really low nowadays. Bummer. Well, like, she was like, we said had to restrain. Did she, like, offer? Like, she was, or something? Like, that's wild. Wild. You had a friend that was a hooker? Wild. I've had a I mean, I guess that's not totally true. I mean, like totally, like, I've never known one. I have. In Vegas, I have known a couple. I've known strippers, like escort types, like, who, you know, probably were, we probably did it for a certain price. He was living in her car. What's wild? Man must reject the thought. Reject the box. True. Told her she could sleep in the bed with me and told me she might rape me. Oh, and she said, okay, I got you. So she was trying to get with you. I will never reject the gate box. Sure. So she was trying to get with you. I mean, probably a smart move if, you know, who knows what. Like, you know, STDs. You don't want to end up with that. Like, especially as a guy that, you know, like, if you when you get, when you do find the right woman, you don't want to fucking give her an STD from a hooker. You know? So you probably made the right choice, to be honest with you. They probably made the right choice. I think women are going to start really coming around, though. Like, they got to be seeing what's wrong with the world. Like, I'm sure people are going to be coming around. There's definitely a lot of young people that are smart, both men and women, or, you know, like, I've been seeing a lot of young people that are realizing that shit is stupid and pushing back. I just hope more people see it, man. That we're living in a fake society, in a fake world. And obviously the real goal of life is usually to start a family, to find a what do you call it? A bonding pair, and have a family. And that's it. Like, and that's not bad. That's a great purpose. You know it if you have, like, younger, like, I don't have kids, but I have a niece, right? I have a nephew, I guess. He can't talk yet, so I don't count him yet. But when you have, like, younger relatives, it only makes you think about, like, the future and forward, and like, when you like them giving them stuff at Christmas, all this kind of stuff, you realize that is the point of life, I think. Like, obviously there's bigger purposes too, right? But that's like the thing. That's like that is what life is for. That. And everybody's lies about that, but that's life. So. Yeah, too much debauchery. As time goes on, more debauched things become normalized. Exactly, yeah. A bond, just, I mean, we're made for bonding pairs. Just how it is, and people don't accept it. Too bad. And I mean, it hurts both sexes greatly, right? Like, it's not like I'm saying it's anybody's fault. I would never. It's the situation we find ourselves in, though. Unfortunate. I mean, now the first, but like, was winter, it was like 30-something degrees out, just having to try not to have her freeze. You're lucky that, I guess, or something, that didn't get worse then. That's okay. Guys. Alright, well, there's a missing child right now, guys. Okay. While you're sleeping with hookers. Trying to find a missing child here. Alright. Well, that's... Her words sound hollow now. And, Kagure looks down. And Domyoji has kind of a smirk on his face, right, watching over the proceedings. What is this word? Mournful? Sure. A mournful expression Kagure has when he looks down. Judging from the atmosphere here, it seems like Yukari is fiercely, resisting. Listen, you can't just say whatever. If you're gonna slander me like that, just leave. Miss, we're not trying to do that, okay? And you can't do that, I'm sorry. We have a warrant here. We have a warrant? He gestures towards it. Like, sarcastically. Sarcastically? How do you gesture sarcastically? Huh. She had some mental issues. Well, you keep saying like a girl, and then they're crazy, and then, like, it's like, man, here's the thing. There's not gonna be a girl. There's not gonna be many options that don't have mental issues as a woman. The thing is, you just want to pick. I mean, you want to be with somebody that has enough awareness of her issues to not blame you for them. That's what you need, right? Like, it's not that you and I mean, like, not actually blame you for them. In the moment of a fight, she might blame you for them, but like, she has to be self-aware enough to, when she comes clear, like, she understands what happened, she doesn't blame you for things that are, you know, she was doing. Because if a lot of women, I mean, a lot of people will do that. They will blame you. Make sure they're not that kind of woman. That's the main thing. Because women are crazy. Women be crazy, okay? The important thing about that, like the selecting factor, I'd say, is if, do they blame you for it? Like, long term. In a fight or something, they might. That's a little bit different, because people say all kinds of stuff in a fight. Obviously, if there's certain hurtful stuff they said, then I wouldn't try. You know, that's like a betrayal. But in general, some people say things in fights that are like, you know, especially women. Especially women. Just to get under your skin, or to see what you're gonna do, or something. So, but I mean, like, you know, to actually blame you. If she doesn't actually blame you, then it might be worth dealing with. But if she does blame you, it's impossible. It's gonna fuck up down the line. Just get out of that. What the shit is happening right now? What do you mean what the shit is happening? We're playing Hayarigami, and we're finishing the Oni Case, and Shinny is talking about a hooker that wanted to sleep with him. And I said, don't get STDs. So that's good. He's talking about. Also, as an autist, majority of autistic girls are abused. Majority of, I mean, people. That's what I was saying earlier is, by men not being like dudes, okay, like they used to be, we've let women be exposed, and so a lot of women have been abused. It's true, and it's not. I'm not saying like all H dudes should be responsible. Like we're all like should like be like men are responsible for it exactly. We're not like directly, but we did do that, right? People did kind of like, men did kind of like turn in, a lot of men did turn like male feminists and like not defend women when they needed it, right? That did happen. So the only thing we can do is trying to behave better in the future and trying to protect people now. Protect people when we see it now. Now that the atmosphere and like conversation and culture is a little bit more swinging back, now we need to start, you know, being dudes again and defending women. And just like, you know, whatever happens, happens. But not like a white knight. It's important to understand the difference in what I'm saying here. Society as a whole should protect women. Yeah, we should. But that doesn't mean like you enable women to do stupid things. Right? You protect them in that like you don't let them get hurt by things, but you have to protect them from themselves too. You know? You gotta like let them like the problem with the white knight is like if certain women use it, like they do something that's actually fucked up to someone, and then a guy gets in the way and stops her from facing repercussions from doing that fucked up thing. That's what's bad about white knighting, right? Not that women shouldn't be there shouldn't be chivalry. There should be, I think, but like men and women first, right? Sorry, men and women, women and children first, women and children first, women and children first. Brock says autistic girls are, but those stats are so, it's impossible to know anything about those stats, man. I wouldn't even worry about, I mean, it's so hard to know, and they're like, you gotta look at how they're framed. Because autistic, here's the thing, it's like 100% of survey takers, like, I mean, take surveys, right? You understand what I'm saying? People diagnosed with autism are probably more likely to be filling out information or whatever thing for a questionnaire or something about being raped. So it's not sure. You can't be sure that from the general population, because it's impossible to know from what the general population real rate of that is. And then of course there's the fact that yeah, that kind of data is weird. You know what I'm saying, there's the survey bias. Women are kind of like children. Yeah, kind of right. But I mean, to be fair, both of us are kind of like children, but women are kind of like, women do need oh, ask a woman what she wants to eat for dinner. To describe to capture what Riot is saying there, right? Ask a woman what she wants to eat. What are you feeling like? We're feeling like eating. I'm feeling like, oh, okay. And then get the wrong thing too. Then go misunderstand what she's saying when she says she doesn't really care where you get, and then get what you want to get, and then you see her expression like she doesn't want to go there, and then you go there anyway, right? And then deal with her mad at you after you enjoy the food you liked. You thought you were going somewhere you both liked, but apparently not. Apparently not. Really not. Well, part of the problem is generally people that are autistic are too trusting of people. Bro, the thing is, I just think it's impossible to really know the exact numbers on that stuff is all I think about. Like, because people that are diagnosed autistic, you know what I'm saying? People that are diagnosed autistic are probably are more likely to answer surveys, though, probably too, on these topics than a regular person. Not a regular person, sorry. Somebody not diagnosed autistic. It's impossible to know. Those things are impossible to know. especially when there's like an implied thing like that, because they're already they're diagnosed as autistic, so that implies a certain level of interaction with society, right? There's lots of people that don't interact with society like that don't get diagnosed with any kind of mental issue, right? But they're not that they don't have symptoms that you could say or could be them, but they don't ever get diagnosed. They don't ever find out about something like that. So the fact that there's lots of people like that implies that the numbers would be weighted. The people that are diagnosed autistic would be more likely to like answer surveys, I would think. And also to think that it could be that the survey could have value, you know, like a lot of people would be like cynical to a survey, like or whatever the data collection method is, like, because fundamentally the diagnosis of autism on whatever piece of data, person in the data, implies a certain level of interaction with society not everyone has. So it's hard, that in itself skews the data. Unless you had some way to get perfect data, which we don't, is the thing. The thing about data is that there's no way to get perfect data. Unless you, like, you know, cataloged all this shit, like we made laws about like cataloging all these kind of things, but you can't, so. Neurodivergent. Well, I don't like it because the reason I don't like neurodivergent, I'm dyslexic, by the way, which it's hard. Here's the thing, people only call certain things neurodivergent. Dyslexic isn't called one, even though it's actually, like, you know, tons of science suggesting it's a fundamentally different way of the brain working, right? But that's still not called neurodivergent. And my issue with neurodivergent is, I think it's not a good idea to consider yourself, especially your brain, as different than other people, instead of I think it's better to think we're all mostly the same and focus on that mentally, that construction, because then you can be like, well, I can, you know, if they can do it, I can do it. Because if you think you're so neurodivergent, you look at someone, you know, say they can do it, but I'm autistic, maybe I can't do it. Right? It's embedded, it embeds negativity in your own perception about yourself. And that's not good. And also some people use it in really like weird, like almost like weird ways, or like they act like they're like only neurodivergent people can understand them, and they get really angry with you if you don't go along with everything they're saying about their condition or whatever. It's almost like a religion. Neurodivergency is, no offense, but you see it, man. You know, you got to see what I'm talking about sometimes. Now, I don't disbelieve in any symptom anyone ever has. I believe in all symptoms. Well, I believe, you know, whatever, but I don't necessarily believe in the neurodivergence as a concept. It's good. I'd rather think our shared we should focus more on our shared humanity than our differences. Because that's all we do now, is focus on how we're different from other people. It's very alienating. It's very, not good. Can you select a mute girl that is autistic? Texted me the other day. She didn't speak to me directly for like a year. I think her brain is better than other people. I think it is a plus. Well, see, that's a problem too. Don't you see? That's what I'm saying. It's not... It's a problem too. That leads to, well, that leads to problems, to think, you know, you have a better brain than other people. I think every single person's brain is unique, and that's why I don't think neurodivergent makes sense. Because every single person's brain is unique. Every single person's is. Like, from each other. Like, just from our life experiences, that maps our brain differently. Right? Just from our experiences, it maps our brain differently. And of course, the physical makeup of it, I'm sure, is different. Every single one has to be different, because it's so complex. right? So I don't know. I think every single person has a unique brain. I don't think there is a because see, the thing about neurodivergent is it applies a neurotypical, which I don't believe exists. I don't believe neurotypical exists. I think it's a construction to make people think that being neurodivergent is good. I think so. That's what I think. I'm a nihilist and a misanthrope. Yeah, but do you see that these things are connected, Shuni? Do you see that these circumstances have a connection? Like, I used to be a nihilist. I used to be determinist, believer in determinism. I'm not now, though. I'm self-smarted, basically by myself, basically from nature, and smoke drugs and doing different things. I've self-learned myself. Agreed. I like that. My point isn't that I dislike other people. No, I understand, man. And here's the thing: don't take me as judging you. Okay? I only seek to understand people better. I don't seek to judge. I don't believe in judging people. I'm gonna smoke real quick, and then I'm gonna smoke real quick. If anybody wants to join me. Okay. Let's see. But I understand those people better. Which people do you mean? Which people do you understand better? Which people do you understand better? I like to think I could understand I like to think two people, but specifically myself. I like to think I could understand anyone if given the time, right? And like they tell me. If you tell me, I'll try my best to understand. I feel like if you have a full emotional like breadth, you can understand anyone. I think that's what I think. I moved away from what they call, okay, Shinny, there's a thing called standpoint epistemology, okay? And that's the concept that your perspective is unique based on your specific things that oppress you, like neurodivergent, like skin color, like sexuality. And you'll find that when people say as a whatever and then they say something, that's standpoint epistemology. When somebody's like, as a gay whatever, as a trans whatever, I think blah blah blah. What they're doing is establishing that they have a very specific knowledge base, a very specific credential kind of, and you have to listen to them because of that credential. That's why they're saying it first. And you can't say anything against that credential unless you also have that credential. It's a like it's a tactic. It's a tactic. Epistemology, epistemology, like with the E, epistemology. As an old TV, I think we should return to the gold standard. I'm with you, Retro. I don't know if we have to do gold, but for me, I want to try out crypto, right? Like I think we should. I think just repeal legal tender laws. That's what I think. Don't force people to take like the U.S. dollar. Don't force people to take whatever currency. Let people do it, figure it out on their own. Let people have private currencies. That would work, I think. But let people have private currencies. That's the answer, I think. So the people that want to be on gold standards can be on gold standards, you know what I mean? And there'll be intermediaries, right? Like people that'll like want the thing that'll work you. Like if you, let's say you only deal in gold, right? In gold standard currencies. And I don't deal in gold standard currencies at all. I'm sure we can find someone that's like in between or some way to still move our resources back and forth between each other, right? Like, I'm sure there's ways to do that. We'd find somebody that appreciates both, that uses both types of currency or something, you know. I just get rid of tender laws, I think. To the NFT scam card. Yeah, I'd like to. Well, labels are dumb, but I haven't noticed it. Sure. Autist. You really think so? You really don't think there's people... Here's my question for you on that, or a thought experiment or something. You don't think there's somebody in the world... that you think the people that you understand the best in the world, are those people all autistic? Like, is it like a family member or something? Like, friends? You don't think there's people you understand really well, and at least to like the level of that you understand some autistic people that aren't autistic? There's gotta be, right? Like some friends that you have that you would say you know as well as as autistic people you know. I'm sure there's gotta be some people individually you know better, and they don't have, not better, but like as well as people with autism. There's somebody that doesn't have autism. I feel like there's gotta be. But I can understand what you're saying. I get why their behavior is the way it is when that's maybe what you're saying. Sure. That you can guess, you can predict their behavior because it's similar to what you would do. Sure. 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 Also, my best friend who was diagnosed with Asperger's now would be labeled autism. I'm not saying our best or worst, just easier to understand them. I think I understand what you're saying. I think I get it. If my what I said there is it, I think I get it. I wish I could. Well, you know what we're gonna go to? Scam Card Standard coming Sunday. Sunday, guys. Premiere of the card game. First test of the prototype. Sunday night, guys. And I definitely gotta read this. We're at 5 a.m. First test Sunday night. First test Sunday night. And we're gonna finish the Oni case this morning. Believe it or not. Isn't your job Isn't your job to save Yusuke? Why are you telling stupid lies about me? Just save Yusuke. What I do? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I don't know what I clicked. I skipped to the choice? Fuck. I go back in time. Uh-oh. 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 It doesn't have auto saves, does it? Any chance there's an auto save? No. Okay. 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 Oh. Oh. Well. Bro. It's just like how you get through stats. Let me catch up. Well, since I have the time. Also told me everyone is autistic to a certain extent of the spectrum, like height. Okay, but don't you think that kind of means it doesn't mean anything? And I've seen some studies like, I saw a study of twins where they said they managed to, by diagnosing in early childhood, they managed to eliminate all autistic symptoms from these pair of twins. This one. Excelling in certain stats or cruel in others. Sure, it's one way to think about it. Sorry, no, it's okay. It's my bad. The mistake here is I really did click. I for real skipped the whole fucking dialogue we were on. And that was a mistake, and that's on my bad. Because if you pull this one menu, not this one, if you press X there, it skips to the next decision, and I did that. And I skipped the whole scene. I skipped the whole scene we were doing. I can't just do that. Nobody's got any fucking idea what's happening. I don't even know what's happening. You know? That's my bad, though. The tangent's fine. I hope, I don't know, man. I hope just keep an open mind to that stuff is all I say on that stuff. And don't worry about labels too much at the end of the day. I just think that the science isn't very hard on any of that. If you look into a lot of it, the replication, look up the replication crisis. Most studies in those fields don't reproduce. They don't replicate, like 70%. And not only that, the ones that don't replicate are like 300 times more likely to be cited in another paper. A lot of the science is bunk. Now, I'm not saying things don't exist, they obviously do. So the conditions obviously, like, not conditions, but the symptoms, the things obviously exist, right? Like, whatever people are dealing with is true. I don't, you know, I would never, I do believe that. Of course I do. But I don't necessarily believe that we got the right name, or we got the right outline, or we understand what it is, really, you know, for any of those things. Because the science just isn't there. If I'm wrong, then you can show me the science that is there. I can come around. But a lot of it's just, it's not there. And like, people act like these things are, get the parents' version. Permanent for sure too. We don't know that autism is permanent, or like something you can't, you know, overcome in a way that basically doesn't exist. And in fact, there are cases where people do that. So, you know, and a lot of the diagnostics thing is for the insurance companies, not for your benefit. That's part of it too. They're for the insurance. They're for the pharmaceuticals and insurance companies. So, I'm probably dreaming so much. I mean, okay. So much about human mind we just don't get. Yeah, exactly. But even in autism, it varies so much. With male and female autism, there are big differences. Agree, Polarize. Yeah. Excelling in certain, yeah, I agree with you, Polarize. It's too complicated and too unknown to be sure of anything. Like, what I'm saying is, I wouldn't consider your mind for sure anything. Just because we know so little. We don't know how the mind works. We really don't. Even though there's people that call themselves neuroscientists, they're basically making guesses. If you really, like, look at what they're doing, they're basically making guesses. Most of the stuff they still don't really know. We really don't understand, like, we really barely have scratched the surface. A lot of drugs, we don't know how they work. We say, oh, this is the mechanism of action, but we don't really know. We're just guessing. And sometimes it's proven wrong. Like, with, SSRIs, right? The serotonin theory is wrong. It's proven wrong now. You can't label anyone really at best. It's generalized term. Right, exactly. Like, I can understand using the term to help you, like, research it, like what people have tried to treat themselves, right? That makes sense enough, right? But I wouldn't apply it to you. Like, I wouldn't think of myself as autistic if I was autistic. If I got whatever. Like, I fit the diagnostic criteria for ADD, right? But I don't consider myself as having it. I just consider that, right? I go, okay, I do fit the diagnostic requirements for it. Do I have it? No. I mean, I don't know. I don't consider it either way. I don't consider it. Okay, but if I was looking into, like, somebody said, I have ADD, blah, blah, I did this, blah, blah, changed this, whatever, I'd read that and I'd think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think there's value to, like, thinking of it as like asthma, okay, like a set of symptoms to help you understand what other people have done, what worked for them, that kind of thing. I do think there's value to that, right? My aunt apparently got a 165. Wow, that's very high, especially as a woman. My mother got a really high IQ also. She was a history major, but I think she dropped out because she got pregnant with me, I think. Not that that's, I mean, you know, I don't know if that's probably not a bad thing. I mean, how can I think it's a bad thing? Probably better I exist, I would think. Not to be, not to be egotistical or anything, but my dad wrote speeches for generals. That is cool. Yeah, I saw it. That's why I was like, your lore is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. We try to search for her, right? Sorry, guys. I fucked this up. I'm all the way back. Were we almost here? We almost caught up, right? I can make it go a little faster, maybe. I just don't know if the loadings and actually here. Look, I can start doing this. I can do what I did. Or which what got us in trouble in the first place. I don't say anything. What got us in trouble in the first. I don't know where the actual thing is though. Fuck, man. Is collecting fungal pops a symptom of autism? I think so. Maybe. I think so. My parents were at the Iranian embassy when it was overrun. That's crazy. Okay. I saw her wounds again. Okay, so she is not now. Did you guys that saw the supernatural ending? You may know Anzai Satoko, right? May have met her before. Okay. Oh, this is the one to have to pick the right thing. You're searching for the kid. No, that's not. Is that what they would do? Asked who you are. She was so calm. Let me do this one. That's too far, isn't it? We're almost there, bro. I'm just gonna redo the whole scene here, or we start here. We're just gonna go. I'm gonna start at the start. I unmuted something, I thought, but I don't hear nothing. All right, here we go. Just starting here. She has the same calm and kind expression like the first time I saw her. So I just cut to the point. Miss Yukari, are you fine with your son Yusuke not coming back home? She tightens at the expression. She tightens at my expression. Do you really love him? I'll keep going. She tightens her face and glares at me menacingly. He wasn't ready for a question like that, huh? Didn't have time to prepare. But it's true. Otherwise, she wouldn't react like that, would she? What are you saying? Isn't that rude? Her voice is shaking. Colors leaving her face. Yes, maybe, okay, I was kind of harsh on him. Maybe I was strict, but I didn't do it with any intention of hurting him. And where do you get the nerve to say this anyways? What made you say this? Wait a second, man. I didn't say anything about hurting Yusuke, did I? The words catch in her throat. Well, words sound empty. Kagure, with his solemn expression, looks down. And Domyoji smiles on, looking at the unfolding unfolding event. You can tell the atmosphere, Yukari's resisting. Stop saying nonsense like that. If you're gonna just say stuff like that, then leave. Miss, come on now, we have a warrant here. He points towards the gestures towards the warrant. Wait, you guys are supposed to save Yusuke. You're not supposed to be making up stupid lies about me. Now she's getting more and more hysterical. More hysterical. Trying to avoid being blamed. But it doesn't reflect any sound of her actually being hurt, does it? Listen, ma'am. I think your answer might have a big connection to this case. Connection? What do you mean? What kind of connection? She's nervous now. Maybe anxious. Good question. Well, I can't say. We're still at the investigative stage here, ma'am. I coldly cut her off. But I asked again. Listen, ma'am. Do you love Yusuke? She bites her lip. And then, after a moment of hesitation, of course. I see. We're not going to get anywhere this way. It's not like I mean, I don't want to push her more, but I have to, right? I get Domyoji to repair the recorder. This recorder, IC recorder, the recorder. Oh, the recording the conversation with the kidnapper. Can you listen to this? I got a weird impression the first time I listened to it. I think I get it now. I get why I felt something about it was off. I get what I was feeling now. It seems like she's trying to figure out what I want to say. Domyoji, go ahead. Domyoji nods and presses play on the recorder. Same voice that we heard before pours out. Your kid. Took him. What? Your kid. I took him. Who are you? Pomegranate fruit. Come alone. I haven't stopped the recorder. Well, what's weird about this, huh? And her face continues to look stern and tense. Be back in a minute. Okay. Thanks for the follow. KCIP method? I love the KCIP method. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Sell me junk? KCIP method. KCIP method. Go to sleep. Get free money. KCIP method. Buy yourself 1,000 viewers. Sleep. What else do you think it is? What a part of the method. What part of the method do we not know yet? Bought, sleep, suck Santa Maria off. So, I forgot can listen to Kick and YouTube at once. I forgot can listen to Kick and YouTube at once. At once? Echoes? Okay, what's strange about this? She looks like she's in her vision. She's looking all over the place. Like, she doesn't know where to look. She's just like, what do you call that? Like sporadically looking all over the place. See, here's the part that bothered me right there when you said, "Who are you?" That's normal, no? Doesn't seem like she gets what I'm saying. No, it's unnatural, ma'am. A normal mother. She would want to know her kid's okay, right? She would ask something that shows she loves her child. If a normal mother knew her kid was kidnapped, she would surely be totally stressed out by not knowing where her child is or what's happened to him. But you, no, you weren't thinking about that. You weren't thinking about your child. You were thinking about who is the kidnapper. That's what bothered you. Shaking now. You can't even look me in the eyes anymore. That's... I was upset. And then Domyoji cuts in. Probably not, ma'am. You sounded calm. Your voice wasn't shaking at all. You sounded like a normal conversational tone on the recording. It's like that's the killing blow there. Miss? How are you that calm? I don't know. Now that Domyoji's constant smile, or sorry, she denies it while looking at Domyoji's constant smile. That's better. I'm sure she doesn't like what she sees. Nobody likes looking at that. At his smiling mug. Miss, I have a warrant here. If you just confess, then... Listen, if you don't confess right now, we're gonna search this place. What? Like I'm some kind of criminal? You think I would do that? I would do something to Yusuke? It seems like she finally understands the position she's in. Well, that's not what I want to think, ma'am. Well, then why? Well, just, we need to know what they're after, right? They haven't made any demands. The kidnapper hasn't made any demands. We want to know what they're after. So there's things that we need to understand the truth of. She looks like she's thinking for a minute, and then, coldly opens her eyes. I understand. Do whatever you want then. Look around. I thought she was just gonna say no, but I guess not. Well, when you don't find anything, can you just clear out? You think we're not gonna find anything, ma'am? You think we're not gonna find anything, ma'am? We go up to the second floor to look into her son's room. This is the room that Yusuke used to use, right? Domyoji's looking in the living room, and Yukari's with him. It's possible that she would try to hide some evidence, right? That mother, I still can't believe it, man. See, Kagure doesn't get it because he can't pull himself away from the incident 2 years ago when she saved her son from the burning building. He's romanticized that he can't get it out of his mind. But it's going to become clear soon enough, right? The proof? We need the proof that shows her connection to her son. First, we decide, let's check his journal. Maybe there's some kind of clue, maybe a picture. Yeah, we need, we got to look further, maybe, and see that some evidence that if Yukari didn't kidnap him, then she might have murdered him. The room is clean. Not even leftover gum from literally leftover eraser shavings on the table. Oh, sorry, on the desk, on the study desk. totally clean, and the books are lined up perfectly. I tried looking in the drawers, but completely organized too. It's not like anyone lives here. Is this really a child's room? I look around the bookshelves some more. I don't see a single manga. It's just reference books, almanacs, culture, books on culture, books on politics. I check inside the closet. All of his clothes are folded correctly. Not to paid 300 not to have sex with a whore. Okay. Well, if Yusuke did this himself, it'd be abnormal, right? But she said that she had harsh punishment for him, didn't she? There's not even a single toy in here. No super robots. Some kind of Hot Wheels? A video game? Nothing. What did he do for fun in this room? How did he entertain himself? And I couldn't find anything in the room. A journal, pictures, anything. I was going to search the other rooms, but they're all clean too. It doesn't feel like anybody lives here even. Like the ideal house, like a model home. The created ideal, right? That suddenly pops in my head. We turn back to the living room. She's calm again, I guess, staring at us with cold eyes. Detectives? You didn't find any evidence, did you? No, not yet, ma'am. Chief, good luck. I don't think we're wrong. Okay. Sure. There's the, what do you call this? The TV stand. And then you have that little thing with the albums on it. On the albums dates 5 years ago. On the left, you have Yukari herself, Saito. On the right, you have her former husband, I guess. And in the middle, you have a picture of young Yusuke. All three of them are smiling. This isn't a recent photo, is it, ma'am? I ask her directly. Well, I've been busy with work, and I haven't had time to take pictures. So, how often do you spend time with Yusuke? No, I don't. I don't. Yusuke is a Yusuke, I wouldn't say Yusuke is a selfish kid, but he doesn't ask me to take him anywhere. Listen, how about you guys stop this? Enough of this nonsense. You can't find any proof that I don't love Yusuke, right? Kagure is looking at the wall like it's strange, curiously looking at the wall while I'm sitting there silent. I notice Kagure is looking at the wall and he opens his mouth. Chief? There's something strange about this wall, isn't there? Now, is that his spirit medium powers? Bro, is that his spirit medium powers? Wait a minute. Is that why he? Kagure is always the one that notices things. So they were this one. In the bed with her. The same girl you're talking about, or a different one? 19-year-old. Well, yeah, I mean it happens, right? Strange. I move closer to the door, even to the wall he's pointing at, and there's a cast. Oh, there's wheels on the bottom of the bookcase. It's about the size of about the height of us. There's wheels on the bottom. And it's got white paper on the wall behind it that doesn't really stand out. Thin white paper. Is there a chief? Is there a room next door here? The guest room, right? Yeah. But look, don't you think the living room and the guest room are kind of far apart, Chief? When I check, yeah, they are kind of far apart. Would it be like the distance of another room? Wait, could that be? I see her expression change. She's totally white now. Their eyes get open in shock. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. On the other side of this wall, there's something very scary she's hiding. I give Kagura the signal to get on the other side of the bookcase. It's got wheels on it, so it shouldn't be any problem to move it. Stop! She's trying to hold Kagure. They're trying to like pull him back. I get her off. What's on the other side of this wall, ma'am? Nothing. Well, then why do you mind if we look? I said there's nothing there. What are you hiding, Miss Saito? I don't know. I don't know. Well, we have him. We have Kagure hurry up and move it. It's clear that this white wallpaper is a natural. Or no, sorry, it's a cloth. It's just like a cloth thing. We easily move it aside. And there's a sliding door behind it. Miss Yukari. Can look at this wall? She's shaking. She won't look us in the eye. She won't make eye contact. Check again. You don't mind? She didn't say anything. She can't. She can't even hear anything. Nothing reaches her ears. Kagure, go ahead. Os. He rips off the sheet. I mean, see underneath it. He peels it off, just like we thought. Just like we thought. Hiding door, a hidden door. Well, this is the discovery of the century. Relax, Tomioji. Hidden room, huh? Ma'am, you got some strange hobbies, huh? This isn't a time to be joking, huh? Take a breath. Back there. And why am I thinking of the worst possible case? She's whiter than white now. She didn't think this would happen. Shaking, can't say a word. Kagure standing in front of the door. Looking for what to do, looks at me. He doesn't want to open the door. I stand in front of it in this place. The answer is right through this door. I'm opening it, and I announce my determination. We open it. I open it and step into the musty room, into the musty air. The room's completely dark. Yeah, of course, Kagura can't go in here, right? He's scared of, dude, this is giving the heebie-jeebies. Jeez. Yeah, it is wild. Thinking about it sucks. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what you can do with that. That's rough. Chief, here, take this. He hands me a torch. He hands me a light flashlight. I had it ready. Okay, perfect. Thought of everything, I guess. Switch it on. This is... What is it? What is it, man? There's writing on the wall? There's ugly writing on the wall. It seems like it's written with blood. You just need a crease. I don't think I have PTSD. Yeah, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't worry about, like, I definitely wouldn't try to worry about that as a thing, like as a, you know, good. Unable to say, I'm unable to say anything. I'm gonna step inside further. And trace we take our finger and kind of trace the words, you know. It wasn't blood. It seems like it's crayon. Hear from Domioji say from behind me. Now you mentioned a long time ago, like my grandfather's age, they used to, I think they would lock kids up in little closets. Apparently it was a kind of punishment. Oh, so they used to do it. They used to lock kids up in a little thing and tell them to, like, you know, repent, like, think about what you've done. But we're in the 21st century now. Why like this? Chief? Do you think Yukari had Yusuke in a place like... He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to say. JB is working on the Simps case. yeah. It was I don't know. Yeah, he's working on the Simps case. Taught me how to climb roofs. That's too bad, man. Losing people sucks. Okay. Oh yeah, I already read that. This is the one I read. I think this is too far. Don't you think this is extreme punishment? Well, I look around the room everywhere I can, point the flashlight everywhere. There's no sign of Yusuke. But there's crayons in the back of the room. A box of 12 color crayon sets. Crayola? The only one that's really short, bizarrely incredibly short, is red. Well, now I know what kind of punishment she was dishing out to the kid. She probably hid this room after she realized the cops would be coming, right? And the kid went missing. Now we know now we have a connection here between Yusuke and the kidnapping. When I exit out from the hidden room, I ask Yukari. Miss Yukari, did you use that room to punish Yusuke? That's too much. Have you read what he wrote on the wall? I asked angrily. She snorts like I'm saying something annoying. Can't I do whatever I want? It's my child. What in the world? That's too harsh, ma'am. Sugure can't stand up for any more, huh? Yeah, he's been on her side the whole time, right? He doesn't want to think badly of her, but too bad now. Too far now. Now she's totally opened up. Now we can see the hidden face. He pissed me off. He pissed me off. That kid would never listen, okay? Kid would never listen. I regret every day having him. If only I didn't have him. God damn. When I found out about the kidnap thing, yeah, I thought it'd be fine if he never came back. You'd think almost any mother would love her child, right? Is this some kind of delusion? Well, are you satisfied? Can you leave? She tries to shoo us away like we're annoying. Well, she definitely went too far with their punishment. And we had proof of that, but we have any proof of any relation to the kidnapping. What should we do? Is she the culprit? This is where we skipped to a second ago when I skipped to the thing. I also lost my fear of death, but can't talk to girls confidently. That's interesting. What I would do to help you talk to girls, if you really have you have a problem with that, I'd remind myself that they're freaking out, you know, as much as anybody. Women are as anxious as anyone, if not more so. Like, we think they're not, right? As dudes, we often assume they're not, but they're as anxious as anyone, man. They might even be more anxious than you are. It's very likely too, really. So I don't know if there's some way that can help you. Like they say, like, picture people in their underwear kind of thing. Obviously, it's not the plan here, but the intention there, the idea there is because the idea is that to remember everybody's human, right? To remember everybody is that we're, like I was saying earlier, more the same than we are different. So I don't know. Remind yourself they're probably freaking out too, and you know, just be yourself. And the other thing is, like, what I think is like this, okay? If they're not gonna like you, it doesn't matter when it happens. You might as well be yourself. Like be confident, be yourself, be ready as much as you can right away. If you make a fool of yourself, okay, you're gonna make a fool of yourself at some point in the future anyway. You know, so it doesn't matter. Just be a fool. Just make a fool of yourself. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about how people perceive you, especially women. Don't worry about how how they perceive you like that. And just think, like, reason it out a bit. Be like, okay, if I if this makes her freak out, like not like me, then she was gonna eventually not like me anyway, so it's fine. That's just how it happened. And then, you know, just don't worry about it. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously, but you know, consciously try and pull your mind away from, like, whatever you're freaking out about. Like when you're talking to her, Is your mind inside your head? Is that what you're doing? Try not to be inside your head. Try to listen to her harder or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, put your focus on her, and not yourself, and not your freaking out, and not what you sound like, what you're, like, think about what she's saying. Listen, then speak, then but like, just focus more on like the actual thing you're talking about as much as you can. Tune your focus to that. It should be easier to speak, I would think. Like, just really listen more. If you're not, like, I'm not saying like not listening. What I'm saying is, the thing you have the most control over is where your attention is, right? And so if your attention is in your own mind, worrying about like, does that sound stupid, yada yada. If you're worried about that kind of thing, then that's going to reinforce itself and keep you in your head and keep you anxious and just make it, get worse and worse. But if you can ground yourself, like, get your mind, you want to get into the moment. You want to be in the moment. You want to be in the conversation more than you're in your head. That's what you want. Lead with how you paid $300 for a hooker once. Yeah, it's not a horrible idea. It's not a horrible idea. No, tell it. Yeah, tell her you almost slept with a hooker, but you thought better about it. Not better about it. Just do a big fart and then give her a wink. I just feel awkward and can't speak words properly. I'm telling you, I think... Well, let me read the lyric thing. I panic as I vomit words onto your perfect face. They don't sound how I formed in my head. And now I'm drowning in my own ineptitude, and I can see that my embarrassment is shit. There's a pretty good song on this topic, right? You guys know it? Hold on. You guys know it? Hold on. Pretty good song. Okay. I'll smoke real quick. Is real? Am I in a dream? You could be. You could be. You could be. I'm gonna smoke again. Could be. When you were before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. Bro, I think we can fix this, okay, Shinny? We can fix this problem. Us here right now, we can fix this, bro. You, me, Chant. We can fix this. There's no way. There's no way, bro. You gotta be... You can fix this. It's a classic problem, man. We've all been there. You gotta be able to beat this, man. I think you can. I'm trying to think if I can give you any more advice and my help. Because I mean, we all feel that way, man. You gotta understand that we all feel that way. Like, in that, if we let ourselves think that way, we will think that way. I really think you gotta train your attention out. I really think that's the answer. You gotta train your attention out of. Do you spend a lot of time? Am I wrong on this guess, or am I right? Do you spend a lot of time like doubting the things you do and thinking it's like you look stupid, or wondering wondering if you maybe like, that was dumb, I shouldn't have said that. Do you do stuff like that, and like man, what's on my face is ugly, or whatever fucking thought you have, whatever issues, insecurities you have, you just think about them? And fix this is gonna hurt. It is gonna hurt. It is gonna very possibly hurt, yeah. It very might hurt, yeah. I can fix it. Ryan, can you fix this? We're hurtling through the cracky verse. Well, yeah, of course. Women love talking about themselves. That's true. It's a good tip over, guys. So talk less about yourself and ask questions. That's very true. And it's not because they're self-centered. Anybody likes talking about themselves, really, to somebody that really wants to listen, right? But what do people want more than anything? To be understood, I think. So think about that. What does anyone really want more than anything? Mostly, usually, to feel understood, right? To not feel like they're weirdos or whatever, right? So yeah, Polar Guy's advice is really good. Let them ask you the questions about what they want to know about you, right? Like, they will ask you questions too. If a woman just talks about herself, then, I mean, that's kind of could be a bad sign a little bit. She just talks about herself all night, but it is good to ask them questions, because then they'll start asking you questions. Sometimes it depends on the person, right? But you definitely might get in a position where you're asking questions back and forth that you both really genuinely want to know the answer to, and that's a great situation, I think. That's like the ideal situation. What's that? What's the Google Drive thing? What are you playing guitar and singing? Singing, nice, very cool. Okay, copy that. Cool. And is this singing to a girl? Have you shown a girl this singing? This singing to a woman? What else are we talking about? What's our approach here? Right? What is our approach here? You figure this out yet? Is it just audio? I'll put it on the visualize.
Just another day with just another disappointment left to render me. Nothing else to say, and nothing in the way of all this shit. Tough me, you fucking bitch. Rip my heart and soul apart. Shelter you can't take that away. My sickness, my decay, all pale red mind is here. You, na 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 na, no way, no way, no way. The pain will go away.
Not bad, bro. Have you ever listened to Harley Poe? Have you ever listened to Harley Poe? Kind of remind me of Harley Poe a little bit. Kind of remind me of Harley Poe a little bit. Oh, this is a good song. Yeah. Just a little too loud, sorry.
Gotta find me somebody. I gotta do this thing now. She said I never completed any goals that I laid down. I hear the devil excusing this dark side.
I don't think your singing is bad. I think, you know, I think that's a great angle. If you keep, I don't know. You know what you need to do a little show somewhere. That's what you need to aim for, I think. You don't have I don't think you have a problem then. I don't think you have a problem then. Folk punk, yeah. The Panther Bunny, Johnny Hobo, and Freight Train's one of my favorite musicians. Nice. I sing karaoke regularly. I think the font, well, one of the fonts there is karaoke, I think. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Keep doing that. I guess that's fine. I'm surprised you haven't met anyone doing it, though. I keep doing it, I say. But if you can get like, if you can do a little show, like a little jar, like a little, you know, do you have a band? If you guys can get a gig somewhere, that's even bigger. Well, the former friends want to start a band. I mean, you should do it. You should do it. Start a band. Start a band, bro. That's that's not a bad plan there. Start a band. Just don't be a piece of shit if you know if you start doing well, don't be a piece of shit to like women. Just remember, you want a bond. You want to find one. I'm gonna find one. You didn't give them everything all at once, definitely. And to be real with you all, I can't fix this. I'm sorry. I think Poltergeist plan is pretty solid. I think Poltergeist plan is pretty solid. When you do get the opportunity, just ask questions, yeah, and listen and focus on what you're saying, what she's saying, like really intimately, like really keep yourself out of your mind is the thing. Keep yourself out of your mind. Keep yourself in the moment. Keep yourself focused on talking, on what you guys are talking about. Because if you can get to the point where you're really excited about it, like listening and talking, like you have like really one of those really good conversations where people are going back and forth and you're both talking and listening, then if you can get into that if you can get into that mode or that state, you don't have to worry about anything. It's easy sailing. You just do it, and then it's just a matter of if you guys vibe, like click. Vibe is what people say now, I guess, but click, right? It's if you guys click, and if you guys click, then But it's just about, you want to get into that mode. You want to be. I do think you want to focus on asking questions, and when she asks questions, answer honestly, right? Take time to really answer as well as you can. I think that's the secret. Yeah, I mean, a good conversation like that. If you guys have any chemistry, it will, be obvious. It'll be obvious. We can both get comfortable talking to each other. That's where chemistry exists, right? That's where you see chemistry. That's where you see it. Like I said, people say dancing. Dancing, I'm sure, is a very physical way to see. Talking, like a conversation like that, is where you're both into it. Is the other way to see it. It has, it'll happen. I don't see why it won't happen. I don't see why it won't happen, bro. It will happen. Just when next time you get the opportunity to talk to a woman, remind yourself she's probably freaking out as much as you are, if not more. She is. And she's in her own head more than you're in your own head. Like, she's worrying about what she's saying, trying to seem cool and yada yada too. So really the goal, honestly, what you should do is make sure you're not afraid. Take almost a radical approach, and if you could, embarrass yourself immediately. I think a little bit, and then it depends on how, right? There's lots of ways you could do it, but if you can embarrass yourself early on and then own up to it, and then just like move on like it was nothing, that's a big deal. Then you're free pretty much. You should purposely trip or something. Purposely do something that seems horrible that you couldn't even survive doing. Do it immediately, and then recover from it, and then keep going, and then you'll be fine. I think that's good advice. I think that I've done that. I do that. purposely trip or, you know, embarrass yourself on purpose in a way. Not like in an awkward way, just in like a oops, whatever thing way. You got to make sure you're not worried about how people are like, how she's perceiving you or how you're being and all that. And the quickest way is to embarrass yourself first. So you're already, so if she still talks to you, you know, you're good. You're good. I probably have general anxiety besides that. Bro, don't worry about these. You fucker. Shinny, I like you, man. Let's stop worrying about, let's just talk without any of the psych talk, okay? If you don't mind. Like, I feel free to describe what, you know, you're feeling and thinking and whatever in these times, but let's not worry about the labels and things, bro. Let's not worry about that. Wait, here's my view on how mental health works, okay? There's this thing called the P factor, psychopathological factor, and they say they can track it, and there's a fair amount of science backing that up. And so I think like anxiety is the fuel, okay? And then for all mental health conditions, anxiety is the fuel, and if you let, like, eventually it will turn into some kind of thing if you let it build up. So your goal is, no matter what your mental health thing, is to relieve anxiety, because that's the fuel that burns everything else. So the most important thing at all times is figuring out how to be comfortable, especially if you're uncomfortable. Especially if you're uncomfortable. And I had to figure this out because, listen, my family, I haven't told you this yet. My family, my direct family, multiple members of it have been institutionalized. And when you go into my my further family, my grandmother, lots of people have been institutionalized. There's some kind of thing we have inherited, something like super sensitivity. My mother, when I was 5 years old, was locked up by my father into an institution, and then we went to live with my grandparents. So I have I have a very close experience to mental health stuff. And from my experience, anxiety is what causes everything. And like multiple people in my family have different things. They have different things. And I was crazy myself once upon a time. I used to be crazy myself. I used to be crazy too. I was derealized, depersonified, where like I'd be in my own head and just like tearing myself apart, and I didn't think reality was real. I didn't think the world was real. I thought the world was fake. I thought it was too stupid to be real. I didn't believe in the world. I didn't believe I was real. I didn't believe the world was real. Life felt like sitting in a director's chair or something, watching my own life and analyzing it while I was living it, right? I didn't feel like a normal alive. And they say it's a very common condition if if one of your parents specifically is institutionalized. It's kind of a weird thing, but apparently. That's the most likely, like the most in relation to people that have it's a very rare condition. But again, condition, quote unquote, I don't know what's a condition. But I was nuts. I know I was nuts. I know that much. I know I was nuts out. It was a cool cover. I was institutionalized. Well, I wasn't. I was institutionalized. My sister was. My mother was. My grandmother was. My aunt was. My cousin was. But to me, that shows that there's something in our genes, right? There's an inclination in our genes to be crazy. I think I've figured it out. I think it's like, and people have different things, right? Us specifically, my family specifically, it's hypersensitivity, I think. Like, get triggered into fight or flight way easy. Like, I didn't even realize I used to have panic attacks until I figured out people were talking about by a panic attack. Like, I used to be like, I was really stressed out, like I would just sit there like for hours, just in my own head, like doing nothing, just sitting there. Like literally sitting there for hours, just sitting in a chair for hours. Too too paralyzed in my own mind to move, to do anything. I was a comic girl. I fucked up relationship with her. It happens, man. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. But it's just what happened. It doesn't. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. Whatever. Nothing matters about like that. The past is over. You can't change it. You know. So it's just what happened. All you can do when you look in the past is use that information to make better choices in the future. You can't, don't worry about it anymore. Don't think about it anymore. You get to choose how you think. Think about the good things. Think about nice things. Think about what you like, and always change your mind to those thoughts, to the things you like. It'll make life way better, man. I promise. All right, back to the game. Maybe back to the game. You guys follow? We're almost at the end, man. Can you believe it? Can you believe this? So close to the end of this game. Okay. So, where's my thing? I texted her cutting photos and things. Well, I wouldn't do that again if I was you. Here's the thing, man. People get in those positions. I understand. People get really judgmental about it. Like, but whatever, man. We all do things in relationships that, you know, we all do things in relationships here or there in our lives. What can you do, man? What's done is done. What's cutting photos? I assume pictures of like cutting his wrist or something. I don't know. I assume something like that. Is it control it off? It is. I bet it's not cutting carrots. Stabbing? Bro, don't stab yourself. Sounds good. Good, bro. But yeah, I mean, what can you do, man? What's done is done. You can't do it. So it's fine. I mean, it's not necessarily good. Obviously, it isn't the best thing to have sent someone. But here's what for about her. Okay, I think just put her out of your mind, man. Just don't think about her. And if you do find yourself thinking about her, do something you like doing. Right, like play something, a game that you like, read something. Reading might be harder. I was checking Eddie's stream if there is a Kick Talk today. Just change your focus though. Think about something else. Don't let yourself think about her too much. It doesn't sound like there's much reason to anymore. At this point, you're just dwelling because you don't have any power to change anything. If you hear from her again, you know, that'd be cool. If you don't, whatever. Don't worry about it. Is what I would say. And here's the thing: if you're starting a band soon, bro, you're Van, you got some. There's potential there. There's potential there. Potential there. Also, not suicidally clear, but yeah, I should not do that. Also, problem I have is like monologuing. Maybe. Maybe there's some way you could turn that into something. Like maybe you can, I don't know. Maybe you should start streaming then, or something like this. I don't know. No, streaming isn't a great business though. Maybe there's some other better way. Something better you can do with the monologuing. Really better than streaming. Streaming's dumb. Streaming's dumb. Stupid. Okay. So I think Saito Yukari hated you. We think that's what you think? Well, it's not too strange to think that maybe it's a fake kidnapping. Yeah, true, right? And it wouldn't be that strange. I still don't think that. No, that's too far. It's not that strange, right? To think that she could fake her fucking kidnapping. But I don't think she did it though. But would it be strange to think she did it? No. It's not strange, I don't think. But still, something pulls at me. Let's think back to the kidnapping. The time of the kidnapping. Did we notice something? If the mother is, if she's the kidnapper, then what stands out about the kidnapping? The fact that they called. Yeah, okay, the facts. Well, they both stand out, I guess. The fact that the kidnapper called. Oh, the fact that she recorded it, their voice. First off, okay, about the recording, the parts that bother me are, let's rethink about the kidnapper's request, or let's rethink about Yukari's state. He was very calm. Which is how I came to the conclusion. I mean, where I suspected that something was wrong in the first place. Do you think it's possible to think she did it or did the whole thing herself? It was all fake. I don't know. I think that'd be strange for her to do it herself. I think that'd be strange. I'm sorry, I'll be right back. Skin's bugging me. Right back, guys. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Alcohol. I talk a lot too. I had to learn to condense what I wanted to say and what is just unnecessary because people ain't got time. Yeah, I mean, I try to pay attention to to read what people are saying and take it in. But also, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people, everybody now kind of, you know, like most people feel and listen to, right? Like, it doesn't feel like anybody cares. Just how it is. And so, like, people, I think, like, fuck, went back. People think, like, so I gotta say everything now because maybe nobody even cares in a minute. But like you don't have to say everything now. You can take your time. Like especially when it comes to this stream. This stream will be here tomorrow. It'll be here next week. It'll be somewhere. If you want to find the stream, Cracky Read stream, you can find it somewhere forever. Okay, it's 5 days a week, forever. Who knows what platform, but it'll exist. Okay. Sorry. That'll be good now. Let's see. Do I think she did it herself? Well, I doubt that too. That's the first one that she did. I do doubt that. Well, do you think it could have happened then? Could she be have been putting on, if she wanted the police to believe her, wouldn't she have pretended that she wanted to find her son, right? That she was worried about her son? Why was she so calm? If she was so calm, why was she so... yeah, okay, why was she so calm? Can she... could she be doing it and be that calm? Like, if she's doing it herself, would she be that calm? She would... oh, she would have pretended to be a concerned mother if she faked it, is what we're saying. If she faked it, why wouldn't she have... if she... what the logical response would be to act like you're worried instead of calm. The calm response is weird because if she's faking it, she would know that it's weird, right? To know that it stands out. Yeah, okay. So why did she do it? Unless it is unless she actually is calm. Why would she sound calm? Well, here's why I think it works. Religion, I can tell you guys what I think on that, on the AA thing. I think it's because the AA part, it is religious, but the part that's religious that I think actually works isn't actually a religion. It's accepting a higher power. Now, I do think a lot of people don't accept reality as existing. I know that might sound wild, but we talked about it earlier a little bit, right? I think a lot of people view reality as relative, and so accepting that there is reality, which is what a lot of people do when they accept a higher power, that we're inside something else like reality, and we're not the masters of it, which we're not. I don't think so. That part works, even if you're not like buying into a specific religion. That part is good, the accepting a higher power. You don't accept it as you wouldn't. I mean, you don't have to do AA. What I'm saying is, the part that's useful there, that I think is useful there, is accepting that the truth is bigger than you. The reality is bigger than you, and you don't control it. I think that's the important part to that. Reality is a thing. I like the truth. Like, I worship the truth. I don't worship a god. I worship the truth. If, however, if the religious people, if the religions turned out to be right, then I would worship what they worship. But I have no reason to believe they are right, though. really at the end of the day, about a lot of things. Like, I do like Jesus as a metaphorical, like, role model kind of thing. He did, like, it does seem decent to follow Jesus out of people you would follow. But yeah, I don't really believe in a lot of the other claims, like miracles and all this kind of stuff. I really don't buy into that, or even like Jesus necessarily being. But like, I don't know. I don't think but I don't believe in that kind of God. That, like, really, I just believe reality exists and the truth is something. It's not. I'm not in control of the truth. I'm limited by the truth, right? Like, for example, how am I limited by the truth? Well, like, I'm a height, right? That's true. There's a real reality where I'm a certain height, right? Or certain anything like that. There's definitive things to me that are defined by my existence in reality. So the truth is above me. Make sense? Raised Catholic, so I'm ethically Christian. Yeah, right. I think most of us are some influenced. Like, yeah, I'm an individualist, and my individualist beliefs definitely come out of like a Christian viewpoint. So I understand what you're saying. The cult of alcohol is way more of a thing and a path to destruction, trust, and that is worldwide. You don't need it. What, alcohol, Poltergeist? You're saying you don't need alcohol? The cult of alcohol? You think it's a cult? I do think people, I do think if anybody has a dream problem, yeah, you should get over that for sure. But, I don't really drink. So, I mean, I don't know. But do you think it's really like alcohol itself, like at all, poltergeist, or are you saying just addiction, or what are you talking about? 45% Polak, so my family's largely Catholic. Yeah, alcohol. You don't like it in any means, or you think, or are you just saying like people should get over the idea that they need it? Because I don't mind socially drinking sometimes, like once a year or something. You know what I mean? Like getting drunk with friends or something, or like once a blue moon, but not shit faced or anything. Just like drinking sometimes. It starts so small, couple of beers after work. Starts small, but it's never got big for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it depends on your personality or like, something, but like I've drank my whole life a little bit here and there, and it's never been There was a time when I was young where I was drinking a bunch, like broke up with my girlfriend, like drinking a bunch in a row, but that was just depression. You know, it was just depression. I was just bummed. But I've never had any real like abuse issues with alcohol, and I'll drink it sometimes. Don't be wrong, I like a drink. Okay, okay, but it's way too socially accepted. Oh sure, I mean weed too. Then if we're just talking about how much socially accepted people are. What's up, Leafy? Welcome. We're near the end of this Yarigamis. We're trying to figure out what happened to this little kid. The mother is behaving way too cold, right? And we were asking her if she even loves her son, and we're wondering what the hell the deal was. And then we found out that there's this room in her secret room where she would lock Yusuke up, and she would leave him in there. And we found like drawing on the walls with crayons. She used to lock him up in a little room because she was so angry at him. There's other points that bother me too, like what the kidnapper said on the phone. The kidnapper said, "Come alone to the pomegranate fruit." If this was all this was all an act by Yukari, isn't that strange? Isn't that request bizarre? If they wanted ransom, that would make sense, right? That was what they would do normally, you would think, just ransom. But why say something with an unclear meaning like that? Of course I joined at the end, yeah, sorry, Leafy. But we still got a chunk left. There's still some interesting parts, probably. I'll try to catch you up. Let me see, hold on. Go through a couple things real quick. The main suspects are the mother, right? Because she's acting bizarrely cold. And then the neighbor. Anzai Satoko is the neighbor. The mother is Saito Yukari. And the little boy that went missing, Yusuke. This boy right here, Ryo, saw him go missing. He said he was hiding in the bushes, and he saw a woman come up and gesture towards the little kid, like, "Come on, let's go." And he noticed the woman had red eyes, and it freaked him out. And he said it was an Oni. And now, of course, it sounds ridiculous, but we had this guy with weird eyes here, right? We had him do reverse regression hypnosis on the kid, and he reenacted it. And then at the end, when he says she's taking it, she goes, "Is there somebody there?" And then he freaks out and starts yelling, like, "Ah!" And then the guy's like, "Okay, 3, 2, 1, sleep!" And he falls back asleep. But he freaked out. So something happened, right? And then, of course, it's like, we don't believe in Onis, though, but what's going on there? And the mother, we finally kind of pushed to finally, like, get her to admit that she apparently had lost love for her son. Like, we asked her, like, she was like, "Yeah, I guess it'd be fine if he never came back." And we're like, what? Apparently he would always nag her, and eventually she started, like, resenting him. Pretty messed up. But we don't know where the kid is still. We still haven't found him. Until you get away from all that, you quickly realize how garbage it is. I think poltergeist that people should get clear from everything at some point in their lives, right? Like you should take a break from anything to make sure that you really want to be doing it, right? Like take weeks off, months off from anything. Get clear-headed from everything at some point. Yeah, definitely. Took me a while to realize that. It caused anxiety too. Yeah. I'll also go to bars and not drink and just hang out, but it's like 0 to 100. Sure. I do think it is. It definitely is a crutch though, too, right? It definitely can be a crutch, like Poltergeist is saying. It definitely can be without you realizing it is one. You don't want to, like, I get why Poltergeist was saying when he said that. You don't need to feel like you need it, because like to hang out or be like. There's lots of people I know who wrongly think they're only interesting or fun when they drink. That's not true for anyone. It's just like, why on earth would that be true? Like, really think about it. Like, that's not true for anyone, really. I mean, maybe some people, but just not really. You can just be more fun sober. Like, you know, you can just hype yourself up more, you know, choose to focus on things that really get you hyped, get you passionate. Don't be afraid. Here's the thing, don't be afraid to be passionate or like worked up. Lots of people are afraid because they, like, I don't know, they don't want to seem emotional, but passion is good, man. Passion about stuff is good. I agree, yeah. Yeah, I've always been one to go hard if at all. Sure, I feel you. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. My other arm is bothering me. And then we'll get through this. Okay, guys, do we think it is possible for Saito Yukari to have faked the whole thing and faked the kidnapping? I don't think so. I don't think she faked the kidnapping. She's too calm is the thing. Well, let's proceed that way. She's too calm is the thing. She's too calm is it? So we go to follow her words and leave. Decided to leave. What's up, Gabe? As long as you don't treat people like shit when you're drunk, I don't mind. I feel you too. I feel you too. I quit drinking for 2.5 years after DUI, but when got off of active probation, started drinking again. I largely don't speak if I'm sober in groups. Well, yeah, but don't you think that's something you need to conquer? Like, or don't you want to conquer that? Like, it is something you can conquer. If you can do it drunk, you can do it sober. Of course you can. If you can do it, like, you don't have, alcohol doesn't give you different capabilities about those kind of things. It just lowers your inhibition, so it's just a matter of you deciding you want to do it, you know? Like, and the thing is, about these kind of things that give you anxiety, okay? You've trained up over, like, a lifetime, reinforce the behavior, and it's going to be hard to beat it, but you can. You can. The thing, okay, so like, you know, we have system 1 thinking, which is really quick. I mean, system 2 thinking. System 2 thinking is like your consciousness, like thinking, like, for example, speaking a language, reading a language is system 1. Writing a language, speaking a language is system 2. Learning an instrument is system 2. Playing an instrument when you're good at it is system 1. Like playing Street Fighter or something, learning Street Fighter is system 2. Doing Street Fighter when you're good, system 1, etc. You following? Knocking something over and it falls and you catch it. Most of that catching was system 1. So system 1 is where a lot of your your anxieties are hiding, I think. What you can do is you can use System 2, because System 2 is what you're in control of, right? You can use System 2 to pull your attention away from the things that make you anxious. And you do that more and more, and you get better at it and you get less anxious. And then there's also exposure therapy, right? Where you, which does work, which is get yourself to do it, and then remind yourself you did it before, you know? And then you can use that, like public speaking, stuff like this. Like you can get yourself to do it at some kind of scale, and then it makes it easier in the future. And then you keep reminding yourself, I've already done this, I can already do this, I can do this. One I like to do is I'll remind myself in my head over and over, I'll be like, I've been through worse than this, I can do this, or I've done worse than this, I've done it. Like, all you got to do is make that true. Because if you're always honest with yourself when you say stuff like that, then you will trust yourself. You got to make sure you can trust yourself, or else your words you need to use to program your brain back to something normal won't work. You got to make sure you trust yourself. You have to be honest with yourself explicitly, always. Because do you know what? If you aren't honest with yourself 100% always, then, well, what is it? What's the thing Jesus said? Bro, I realize. What's the thing Jesus said? Hold on. What's the thing Jesus said? He said, not to be religious, but check it out. This is pretty good. You are of your father the devil. There's no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language. Why am I bringing that up? Well, because lying is conceptualized, and for rightly so, as evil itself. Accepting any lie is evil itself. So if you accept lies about yourself, if you don't challenge yourself to be truthful to yourself, then you'll accept evil, like, in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm being it's metaphorical, figurative. I'm not saying actual devil or anything, but it's true. We conceptualize for good reason, and it's not just in like the Christian tradition. We conceptualize lying as evil, and it for good reason. It is evil. The most evil thing you can do. Not being truthful is evil. So, yeah, make sure you can trust yourself. That's a very important tool. Very important tool. Can I make one request when I'm listening and working, because I can't watch, and you just say whose dialogue you're reading? It was not much of an asshole. Sure, Levy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can. I got what you mean. Make it easier for people that don't have visuals. Sure. I'll try to make notes of that, Levy. I'll try to think about how to do it in a not weird way. My grandfather went to jail for 15 years before I was born from drinking and driving, paralyzing a man. Don't drink and drive. It's fucking selfish. My grandfather went to jail 15 years before I was born from drinking and driving and paralyzing a man. Jesus. Don't drink and drive. It's fucking selfish. I got it now. Yeah, Jesus. Right. I thought they would just take your license, not make you do drug tests or have PO. I'm learning so much during this stream, yeah? Different girl was leaving for Alaska and was supposed to hang out with me, and then told me she had to pack stuff. I was like, fuck it, going to the bar. Huh. You know, another option, I could have, like, I don't know. That makes, seem to stand from girls I have crushes on. Huh. What's up, Voltron? I'm not mean either. I just get aggravated with people. I don't know if I do get, how often I get aggravated with people. I get more frustrated than aggravated, I think. It's rare for people to aggravate me, I think. It's usually mostly it's frustration. Mostly frustration. I haven't heard anyone driving. Yeah, but I kind of agree that I definitely agree with Leafy on that. Driving, because the risks of driving drunk are other people, right? So, like, even if you've never done it, I do agree with Leafy. It's not a good idea. It's because it is risking other people. Like, it's kind of like would you go drunk and just like wave a gun around? Because it's kind of the same thing, right? And what if it was? And what if like yeah, worst case, but like what do they say? God forbid, it's a kid or something. if you do ever hit someone as a kid or something, and then you know, then you've ruined. Then how would you even live with yourself if you hit a kid? You know, how would you, or something like that? How would you even live with yourself? I don't know how you would. I feel like you wouldn't be able. Nobody would be able to live with that. I blast horn more often some days. Leafy, you don't have to. It would just be easier for listeners. No, it's a good point. It's a good point to bring up because I know a lot of people tell me, Leafy, that I wonder if it's easier to do on revert on the end, like after I read the comment too, though, right? I'm thinking about it. But lots of people tell me they like to have the stream on and listen to it. So it's not a bad topic to have feedback on. Though did hit a parked car once, apparently, but I think I was roofied. Shouldn't you? You're right. Okay, well, what? Cosby 6K, God forbid. What's up, Snorch? So, Chief, what's the? Are we just gonna leave her like that? Yeah, I mean, we can't just drag her along with us, can we? Is it strange that I decided to leave when we were getting so close to the thing? Listen, why would she have done something like that to Yusuke? I asked both of them. Well, because she said she was pissed off, right? That's why. No? Oh, we're leaving. They don't understand why we're deciding she didn't do it, right? Well, we're pretty sure she didn't do it. He peers into my face like looking for curious. Wait a second, Chief. You don't think Yukari did it? He's making an expression like it's impossible, what I'm saying. No, well, that... I'm just saying it doesn't... The reason seems too vague. I feel like she's still hiding something. Not for chats, I'm saying for the game. Oh, who cares about chat? Okay. Oh. Huh. Okay. I gotta think of how I could do that easily. Okay. Huh. Sure. I could do voices, right? Huh. Probably the best answer is inflection, huh? I'll think about that. Okay, sure, gotcha. What the heck? She claimed by who? What now? Craig's monotone voice cured my insomnia. I put it on the stream and bam, right to sleep. I don't like what you're saying. I don't have a monotone voice all the time. Okay? I don't like what you're saying at all. I don't like anything you're saying. But we left the bar and all of us blacked out. I mean, I liked it. I'm glad that you are able to sleep, and it's thanks to me. That's wonderful. I'm not happy with the rest of the implications, though. So, whatever. 5 minutes to a friend's house? Well, sure. That's the thing, too. Like, if everybody's blackout drunk, that's part of the modern world that's pretty bizarre, right? Is how they'll blame... I mean, they'll point fingers at guys, but it's like everyone is blackout drunk. It's like, you guys shouldn't... Why are you guys getting blackout drunk around each other like that in the first place? What's wrong with you? Like, I don't know. No offense. But when, like, a group of people all blackout drunk around each other, it's like... What it, like, you know, you're basically risking anything doing that, kinda, in the current world. Like, who knows? You're risking everything. Unless you really know the people, right? Like, you're friends. Like, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're good friends and you get drunk, like, too drunk, it's fine, right? They'll take care of you. But, if they're not your good friends, you can't expect society now to take care of you, you know? Like, current society is so low trust that nobody's going to like look out for a drunk person. Your friends would look out for you, but society, not now, no. Once upon a time we did, right? Once upon a time, like in Andy Griffith, right? We were like, okay, get in the drunk tank, bro. Like, people don't even get that's what the drunk tank is for, right? So they don't hurt themselves. But get in there, okay? Get in there. Get in there. But, yeah, getting blackout drunk is too big of a risk. I wouldn't, I would never do it in public. When I was young, maybe, but, I would never do it in public now. No way. I gotta run up to store, be right back, still streaming. Okay, Voltron. Just me and the timing of everyone blacking out one seems weird, sure. I literally once said exactly, Craig's monotone voice is the sweetest lullaby. I don't like everyone calling me monotone. I don't like that. It was playing pool, even though that's like part of the whole fucking goal of the stream is to be that kind of like what, remember what's my biggest, one of my biggest inspirations, like late night, like Conan and stuff, and that's why you watch Conan and these kind of shows, is to help you fall asleep. I'm glad that helps you, but I don't like the way you guys are saying it, so whatever. I would just wear a shirt that says I don't consent to anything. I would get a shirt that shoots people if they try to touch it, is what I would do. A gun that shoots people. Playing pool, I think someone spiked our drinks. Oh, could be. Everyone getting roofied. Also, one of the security guards said it had people within the week to other people. I haven't. Well, yeah, you gotta be. I guess now you gotta be careful of open drinks, huh? In a low trust society like this, don't get any drink at the bar that isn't like sealed or you see them carry it directly to you and never leave it alone. I guess you got to be that way if you're gonna drink in public places now, unfortunately, right? Because our society is just that way now. You're not monotone, just playing. Well, thank you. I like the way you talk and articulate your ideas. Well, thank you. I kind of think of it like I don't know. My streaming method, I think of like open brain monologue. Like I just I just say whatever I'm thinking, right? All I do for streaming is I turn my inner monologue outside. I put it on the outside. So I'm not, it helps me be in the moment too, you know? It helps me, sometimes I do have a monologue still at the same time while I'm talking, sometimes. But in general, it helps me. I told you guys before, right? I used to be crazy and be stuck in my head. If I'm talking on the stream, I try to be really thinking about what I'm talking about, you know, in the thing, in what I'm talking about. And so I'm like externalizing whatever I'm thinking. But not like a vomit. Some people might call it like verbal diarrhea. But I don't think I'm doing that. It's based on things, right? That people are saying or... Anyway. What are we doing in the story? What part is this? Oh, yeah. So we don't think she did it because it's too vague. We think she's still hiding something. Chief? I think I'm thinking too much about this. He looks up at the sky. I don't think I'm not thinking too much about this. But still. I don't think I'm not thinking too much about this. Did you see the streamer girl in Germany trying to move a point on how safe it was for her to walk around, and immediately she gets pelted by some random guys throwing stuff at her? No. There was like a couple of people, like a communist couple that said, we can travel anywhere. Do you remember this one? And like we bike anywhere, and they bike like in the Middle East somewhere, and they get murdered. A lot of that happens to a lot of people, I think. There's a lot of stories like that, I think. And there's like that one guy. There was like that one guy that was talking about like crime being not like just the price of living in a big city, and then he got murdered. Right, that one journalist guy. I think he's like murdered in his apartment or something. It's wild. Wild. That stuff's wild. That's wild. Banned from that bar, so I don't have to worry about it now. Huh. FO with the old brain monologue is part of what streaming should be. Yeah, I think so, right? You're just saying, Jay, I appreciate that. Okay. I don't know. I think, if there's a causal link, if a causal link exists between Yukari and the kidnapping, if she's the true culprit, then if she's the real culprit, then I think investigating her motive will connect us to that anyway, right? So it shouldn't be wasted time. Wow, Chief, you really like to work. You sure are passionate about your job, huh? Well, see, listen. More important than that, all right? The first priority is getting evidence that she is the real criminal, okay? And what's still bugging me is that Oni, right? The existence of that Oni character, the Oni thing. And I don't know if you should think of it that way. How about here's the thing, in Machida, right, the vicinity, there's just rumors about a lady Oni that spread that kidnapped Yusuke, right? And those three special traits about the lady Oni. They run away when it runs away when somebody sees it. It has short hair and it hates tobacco. Those 3 points. And the main focus is the tobacco one, right? Because we can reason that maybe they have some kind of trauma related to tobacco. Now all of a sudden he's listening with interest. Now he is. And from our research, right? Saito's family, she lost her family in the fire 2 years ago. But she braved her life to try to save her son still. She rushed inside to save her son. Let me see. I see, Chief. So, Chief, you're saying, I see, Chief. This guy should definitely talk weird, right? I see, Chief. I see, Chief. So you're saying since she experienced the fire, she could have that weakness, the same weakness as the Oni. Oh, because of the fire, right? But Chief, no, I don't think so. He denies it completely. What? Why? Well, because you see, while we were in there, right, while you were searching around, I smoked right in front of her. She didn't make a face like she didn't like it at all. In fact, she even got me an ashtray. Yeah, I think for games like this, I just have to, you know, start doing voices and stuff, I think, right? That is the answer. Or do more. I'll just start doing a little bit more and more until I, you know, get better at it. I did like doing Carl doing impersonations to try to, if you guys remember, we used to have Carl do impersonations. We should bring that back. I gotta find something he should do an impersonation of. Bring that back. Bring that back. We're deep in the shinny lore today. You should write a book, maybe. If you wanna. And then feed it to Notebook LLM and get it to write summary notes and make little videos. video. It can even make you infographics about your life if you do that. Bro, that's a great idea, kind of, huh? Write a story, give it to Notebook LLM, and make flashcards make a slideshow about your life. I kind of want to do that now. I want to do that now. Bring back Carl from where? Where is he? He's out in the parking lot, isn't he? You can go get him. He's out in the parking lot, Snorch. Go get him. Fill out to your dates, yeah. They're contemplating being the most offensive band in the world. That's a good idea, too. Kagure stuff in his face. It seems like our guesses were wrong, huh, Chief? Yeah, I guess, huh? What do we know now? Do we know anything about anything? Know anything about anything? See, because according to Domyoji's testimony, he didn't show anything about hating tobacco. And one of the traits of the Lady Oni is hating tobacco, right? Yeah. I mean, the only thing we know is that I just reasoned from that she hates tobacco, man. The only thing that stands out. There are 3 traits that Yuka told us about. First one, she runs away. Didn't we just cover these? She runs away when somebody sees her. She has short hair, and she hates tobacco. And there's got to be some kind of hint, right? You couldn't consider the first one or second one particularly important. But there may be a hint in those first 2. There might be a hint in the first 2. Like, it said she runs away when people see her and her hair's short, right? Those are kind of abstract things, no? Oh, there's Kagure talking. Just like Kagure said, the short hair. That's really tough to find something to narrow down based on short hair. And I mean, the run away when people see your thing, I mean, it's normal, right? That if somebody, it would be normal for something like that, I would think. They wouldn't want to get somebody guilty wouldn't want to get near other people. But Chief, isn't it kids spreading the rumors though, right? So that means that when kids see him, she runs away. I nod while eating my noodles. What am I doing? I know we're adding onions to the soup. Yeah. Adding onions to the soup. I think that's a good idea. I think you might be onto something. If the Oni is an adult, the fact that she would run away from children, that's peculiar, yeah. Oos, Chief. Maybe she hates being around people. Hmm? She's like, chat? She's an introvert? Guys? The Lady Oni's just like, just like you guys. Huh. Alright. Well, how would we find you if you kidnapped a little kid? How would we find you if you kidnapped a little kid, chat? That photo? Yeah, it's wild. The art in this game rules, man. The art in this game rules. He says that while he's slurping down noodles. Deftly, by the way, he's good at it. Oh yeah, right. Of course he's good at it because he's like a martial artist. He's probably good at it, like anything like that, right? Even things you would think. Right, that makes sense, right? He's really good at maneuvering the chopsticks probably and shit because he's a martial artist. That makes sense, actually. Well, what if we eliminate everybody we met so far and maybe think it could be somebody new? Kagure likes my suggestion. So, The kidnapper could be somebody that's a scaredy cat that runs from children. Don't you think that's strange, though, Chief? Isn't there a contradiction there? It's also they also kidnapped Yusuke. Yeah, you're right, Kugure. There is a contradiction. Maybe it has to do with the motive, though. Let's try to just go from that they run when people see them, okay? Let's imagine from there. If this person is so antisocial that they run from children, then then it's possible that it's not that they don't like interacting with people. It's possible that they're afraid of interacting with people. Here's the other thing too. Oni used to be written like Hyde, with a character for Hyde. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we learned about that. They used to be written with the kanji for Hyde, for like a shadow. That's what I remember Yuka saying that, like something we couldn't see. Onis used to represent something we can't see. Something we can't see. Okay, sure. That makes sense. Makes sense actually. Okay, but if normally the culprit doesn't come into contact with people, then isn't it going to be hard to find anybody to question that could know anything? Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, it's sad, but there's all kinds of people that don't know the faces of their neighbors, right? Now, in these days, people don't even know the faces of their neighbors. It is sad, but it's true. You can see Kagure laments for the past. No, Kagure, listen. um, in order to live, you can't completely cut off from society, right? Like deliveries, water, power. They need all those kinds of things. Need somewhere to take the trash out, right? They need money. Um, I mean, unless they're living in the mountains alone, there's got to be something. I'm not sure, but I can't give up, right? I got to keep pushing. We have to figure out something. I got to be optimistic. Also, isn't Akuma another word for demon? It is. You want to hold on one sec? I got you. Check this out. Yogo. Yogo. Yes, you're correct. So, in this case, we're talking about Oni, which is a very specific kind of demon. Usually, it is a tall guy with like a horn and a club, right? And tiger pants. Kuma, on the other hand, is this phrase right here, which means evil demon. Ma, meaning basically magic power. So aku means evil, okay? As you can see at the bottom. And ma means witch. How can I show you that? Maho is magic, right? And then shoujo is magical girl. But anyways, Majin, like Majin Buu, same character. Majin Buu. The bad guys in Dragon Quest are called Mao or Dai Mao, which means Demon King, Satan, Prince of Darkness. Ma comes from Mara, which is thank you. We're good on that. Yeah. Which button is this? Mara, which is a ancient, really old, is it Buddhist? Like Buddhist god that was about Like it was like Satan kind of. It was evil. It was an evil demon. Ma was an evil demon that would seduce people and corrupt them, and it would corrupt them through their. The monks, they say that they would corrupt them through their penis, and so Mara is often depicted as some kind of weird penis monster. Um, but nonetheless, that Ma is the same Ma. That all like magic and evil that comes off of that comes from that meaning, that etymology, as far as I can tell. Um, so Kuma means evil demon, yeah. And the reason Oni is in Street Fighter has both names, right? In the different like forms, Akuma and Oni, is because Oni is actually a similar thing in older folklore. It was it's like somebody that's like been taken over by negative emotions to the point that they have like supernatural powers. So Akuma in Street Fighter is both in different times, right? That's why they have the different names. That's why you have the Oni one, Peanut, yeah, the Oni one in whatever some versions he's called Oni, right? That's why. Um, I think is his yeah. Hold on, what's his real name though? Isn't Akuma not his real name? Like Goki or something, right? Yeah, Goki. Goki would be High Demon. Let me show you. Goki would be High Demon. Can you look up Goki for me, Yoko? One. There it is. And there, guess what? Which kind of demon is it there, bro? Which kind of demon is it there? Akuma, yeah, Akuma in the West. Which kind of demon is it there? What's that second character? That's Goki, look, Oni again. The key in Goki is Oni. There you go. The key in Goki is Oni. The same one. How do I get back? Not that one. That one. So, what's the biggest problem if the Kagure, if they avoid the people, what's the biggest problem? Well, hold on, did I misread that one? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think the biggest problem is, Cuckoo, right? Well, of course, he slurps up the last of his noodles in one go. It's food. Right, so he slurps up his noodles and goes, it's food. Right, you're right. Food, yeah. I mean, for Kagure, somebody like Kagure who's eating seems to be like his mission in life. I think he's right though. Yeah, food. Right? Even if he's this person's antisocial, you need food. Human beings need sustenance to live. Well, what if we look at delivery drive? What if we look at into delivery, and delivery shops and mail order and delivery shops? Chief, we should also check anyone that handles store goods too. Okay. When he finishes up, we both together nod. And finish slurping up our bowls. Great. Akuma, yeah. Vega and Bison, forget the third name. Yeah. And Bison is obviously Balrog because he was Mike Tyson. And then Vega is the bad guy's name, is in Bison's name, right? And then it's the guy. It's no, hold on, wait. Wait, what's Vega's name then? What's Vega's name? Vega's name. Balrog. Uh-huh. Right. Okay, I guess that... Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they were all switched. It was because of some, like, mistake. I think it was, like... If I remember correctly, why? It was, like, some mistake on the American boards or something. They, like, switched them. And so they just, like... It was a mistake. It wasn't on purpose. So they just, like, left it. It feels like it was rolled out too much. Balrog, I think it was Claw Dude, yeah. Doesn't Craig talk about penis demons while I'm cleaning old people's rooms? Listen, the Mara thing is important, okay? The Mara thing is important information to know, okay? Here, hold on, I'm gonna ask a robot to prove that I'm not making this up, okay? Okay, robot, give me proof for my chat that Mara has to do with penises, okay? Thank you, robot. Oh, still no Sims? No. Alright. Okay. Ah, yes. Mara. Such a simple word. Innocent. Harmless. Or isn't. Now, traditionally, and this is important, it turned out, but because tradition loves irony, Mara in Buddhist texts is the tempter, the distractor, the cosmic embodiment of desire. Not evil in the mustache-twirling sense, no. Evil in the, oh, wouldn't you rather think about this instead sense? And desire, well, desire has a biological spokesperson, doesn't it? Nature insists. You see, Mara's whole job is to interrupt enlightenment with craving, sensation, urge, the itch you weren't planning on scratching. And if you look at what historically distracts monks from spiritual transcendence, it's rarely spreadsheets. Now let's get linguistic, because language loves to tell on itself. In Sanskrit, Mara comes from a root meaning to die, or to destroy. But here's the trick. In religious symbolism, death and sexuality are linked twins. Creation and destruction. Yin and yang. One thing rises, something else inevitably falls. And across cultures, figures of temptation are coded sexually even when they pretend not to be. Snakes, spears, rods, towers. Freud didn't invent that. He just pointed at it and said, ah, yes, of course. So is Mara literally a penis? No. That would be crude. But is Mara a mythological abstraction of intrusive desire, biologically routed to the same impulses that make penises do what penises famously do? Beat? Why does he beat? Well, nature finds a way. And if your chat disagrees, that's fine. Mara would love that distraction. The distraction? If my chat disagrees? Oh, right, because it's all Mara loves any distraction. Interesting, huh? Mara's any distraction, right? Anything that's not like going about your own life how you want to, pretty much. Any distraction. Oh, interesting. Anything I learn Japanese? Yeah, Leafy, do you want help setting up a setup to learn Japanese? I have a setup that you could copy, yes. And you could learn Japanese. Yes, do it. Yes. Well, you definitely. Yeah. You should definitely do that. Yes, do that. I've been thinking about it. I bet I could have learned Japanese in like half the time if I had the things I have now. Death and sexuality sound sort of sexy. Well, they are connected, right? Like, it can make sense. Those are kind of like the two drives: trying not to die and trying to procreate, are our most base drives, right? Yes. Okay. You should. I can help you, Levy. Sure. Anybody else wants to do that too? We should do a stream talking about all the stuff I know of now that could help you learn Japanese. Because I have a setup now with like an OCR thing, and like there's this translation LLM. You can use ChatGPT if you want, but it's better, well, not better. There's a local setup you can do with a translation LLM, Sugoi LLM it's called. The Sugoi guy trained one. Specifically for translating Japanese to English. So it's a pretty good one to use. What I do is I change the system prompt to say, you're a translator assistant, explain it all to me. You'd want to do something similar, like you're a translation, oh, you're a Japanese teacher or something, right? We change the prompt to be something like that. So explain it for a beginner to understand, something like this. But yeah, first you have to practice reading like all the kana, so you can definitely read everything. And then you still might want to do the remember the kanji book, and then you want to set up flashcards, but then you probably want to jump into reading stuff as quick as you could, probably. Yeah. Because you could set it all up, man. Yeah, it's a good idea. What, I'm on my phone? I'm not on PC? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, then use ChatGPT maybe. I gotta think a bit about the best phone setup. Because the thing is, you want to get the text, right? You want to get Japanese text. If you're just using ChatGPT, let me think about that. Let me think about phone and how to do it. Let me think about that. I'm sure there's a way you can do it. I got to think about what would be the best plan, though. What you can use on there, what would really help you. But ChatGPT will work if you got to make use of it. The question is then, like, how to get the whatever Japanese into it is the question. It is nice being able to just use Google Translate to get the gist if need to. Yeah, but I wouldn't use Google Translate. Use DeepL. D-E-P-L. DeepL. Use that over Google Translate. But the thing is about the gist is you'll never the thing that sucks or doesn't suck, it depends on if you care about it, is you'll never really understand like the nuance of like, you know, like tone. Like, yes, you'll get the words, but a lot of times you'll lose tonality, and like jokes and like anything that's like requires a kind of, okay, like, you know, in a story there's a kind of like passive context of things that are of information that is new to you, that is built through the story, right? Like, this character's name is this or this is that, and there's a lot of little tiny things there, like that computers cannot follow. Like a reference to some random little earlier thing that was mentioned, but in the Japanese, all it is to tell you that is just a single character of no, of the no, which is like the circle looking thing. Sometimes that's all that's there. Sometimes that's all that's there to let you know that it's calling back to like a whole like sentence or concept or whatever. And translators will never get, I mean, machine translation will never get that, even if you fed it the whole text, because it requires like human ability to sometimes Japanese grammar, you literally have to go, which makes sense. Like, it's not like they're wrong. Japanese grammar is more loose to the point where sometimes multiple interpretations are correct, grammar-wise. It's why it's called an ambiguous language. So if you don't have the human ability to be like, does this make sense? Then you can't really translate some stuff correctly. Especially Japanese to English. There's other problems in other languages too, but Japanese to English is a very very specific translation thing. Speaking of, guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna end the stream, I think. Yeah, I think so. I need to eat. I'm hungry. And I know the next part of the story. There's still a bunch, I might as well do it all together another time. Is what I'm thinking of. We start checking out for food places. That's a good place to pick up, I think. We start searching all the food places to see if we can find a clue. See if we can find a clue, I think. Do I start with typing or talking? You wanna learn how to read. You wanna learn how to read because then you can learn the pronunciation of the characters really well, and then that way you can understand how to talk from Kana, which is a good advantage. So you kind of tackle both at the same time by learning Kana really well. So like you want to, there's a book called Remembering the Kana. You might want to do that. It only took me a weekend to do it. I can send it to you. All right, guys. Have a good day. Have a good day, guys. We'll be back. When are we doing this? What's tomorrow? Super Robot Wars? This is going to be next week on Tuesday night. I gotta take Monday off because I gotta set up a bunch of stuff for the stream. Sunday we'll be here with the card game. If you want to see the card game Sunday night, tonight is Super Robot Wars. Tomorrow is the card game. Monday I won't be streaming. I definitely gotta take a day off to try to set up because I wanna fix the Streamloots cards. I want to get the YouTube set up. I probably should get the YouTube set up like before the next stream. I should already have had it set up so you guys can follow it now, right? Okay, I'll get that set up before tomorrow. So I can remind you in the next couple of days that I'm gonna do it. And then next week we're gonna try. I'm thinking I got a lot. I don't want to spoil next week. I think next week will be crazy story wise if I can do what I want to do, which is why I need to take a day off to do it. I don't have enough time to do it. I've got a funny idea. It might be the YouTube stream might be the only place I stream next week. Don't be mad at me, guys. I want to try to see if we can push YouTube one more time. But I promise you can use Twitch chat as an alternative to YouTube chat. And what else about it? And I promise you it'll be fun. And I promise you won't want to miss it. It's going to be a crazy thing. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sad. I work for the next. I would like to stay around today, but I don't know. Maybe I can stream again after. I can stream again in a bit, maybe. But I'm gonna say maybe. Let's say it's for sure a maybe, but I could maybe. I need to eat though. Could maybe. I don't know what I would do though. Is my only problem with that. Where's my fucking mouse? Sorry. Oh. Mouse ball out. So send a message on YouTube. I can't send messages on YouTube because I don't have the ability. I don't have the ability to have the board thing. I don't have that because I don't have 500 subs. Isn't it dumb? I can't move my mouse still. Hold on. They don't give me any abilities to do anything because I'm not a real person on YouTube. Which sucks, but you know, it is what it is. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. Look at this. My mouse is acting funny, so thing is my trackball sometimes just doesn't work right. Right now? Yeah, it's fine. Alright, thank you guys for hanging out. Mouse works, I can fix it right in the stream. Let's see. What were we talking about today? We did Yarigami and talked about. Oh, I know. I got a song for you. I think.
Everybody is someone else's weirdo. Everybody is someone else's weirdo. Everybody.
Green black for a second, sorry.
Everybody. Do you ever feel to yourself, man, I am so weird. If anybody found out how weird I am, I'd be in trouble. Because, man, I'm so weird. Well, I would like to introduce to you the basket case theory, something I developed when I was a young man. to explain what I was witnessing. And it goes like this. If you meet a stranger, could be
Well, thank you,
somebody you want to
Jimmy.
date, or just somebody you work with, maybe just a friend. When you meet them, don't they seem pretty complete? Have their act together pretty well? Man, that stranger. I wish I could be like that stranger, because that stranger doesn't have anything weird about them. They've got their act together, and on the inside, pretty confident and pretty capable. And then time goes by, and you learn more about your date, or your friend, or your coworker, and suddenly there's a flaw. Oh, I didn't see that on day one, but there does seem to be a flaw, maybe a little weirdness. Day 10, looks like there's more than one flaw. 2 years later, well, I guess everybody's fucked up. That's the basket case theory. Everybody looks good until you get to know them. Once you get to know a human being, they're always basket cases. Well, I guess everybody's fucked up. That's the basket case theory. Everybody looks good until you get to know them. Once you get to know a human being, they're always basket cases. Always. Just different kinds of baskets. As soon as you realize that every fucking person is a basket case, you're free. You're free. What is it that bothers you more than anything, as long as you're healthy and you have a job? What bothers you more than anything is what people think of you, or what you think they think of you, or what they might think of you, or how they would treat you if you did this embarrassing thing. They're not better than you. Basket case theory. They're not better than you. They're just people you don't know that well. That's it. There's nothing else to the story. You just don't know them that well. If you did, you wouldn't be impressed. Everybody's fucked up. That's the basket case theory.